What's going on, everybody? John here with you. It's a Thursday, January 15th, 2026. I'm going to start this X space right now. We got locked into the YouTube side, and pretty cool ceremony on the ice in between the Buffalo Sabres. So off back-to-back times from Monday and Thursday, we have the Sergei Fedorov retirement night, and then Thursday at the KeyBank Center, which we're covering today between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. The 05-06 team was on it again 20 years ago when they made the Eastern Conference Finals. Again, today I was looking through some of the ceremonies, saw Maxima Finneganov, backup goalie Marty Biron. Looking through some of the other names, you got the starter Ryan Miller, Teppo Numminen, Derek Roy, Thomas Vanek, Jason Pominville. So some pretty good players on there. When I was looking at the fan activities and the site for what was listed today, they have a gaming station with NHL 06. So that's some good times there. And 2000s era music throughout KeyBank in the arena. You have special guest anthem singer from the area, throwback jerseys with the goat head throwback, which I hope that they wear tonight. And they had a special on-ice presentation for the returning alumni. And out of, I believe, the 19 that were listed on this sheet, I think 16 of them were there. So a lot of good stuff. So for the Montreal Canadiens, let's get to work here on the lineups, and then we'll pause as we need to before the puck drop. So for Marty St. Louis, the Montreal Canadiens are 26-14-7, third in the Atlantic. If they win today, they'll have the same games in hand as the Red Wings, so I think they'll both be at. Let me look at this very quickly. It will be 48 games played. If they get the full 2 points, they'll be the second seed. Detroit will go to 3. They'll have 61. Detroit will have 60. Tells you how good the Atlantic is, because Carolina leads the Metro with 60 and Tampa's on an 11-game winning streak. Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, Alexandre Texier still on that first line. He has just signed a 2-year, $5 million extension. Mike Matheson, Noah Dobson on defense. Oliver Kapanen, Juraj Slafkovsky, Ivan Demidov, Lane Hutson, and Alexandre Carrier. Philip Dano, Zach Bolduc, Josh Anderson, Joe Veleno, Sammy Blais, Brennan Gallagher. Patrick Laine, Alex Newhook, Jake Evans, and Kirby Dach are out with injuries. Caden Gooley had a little bit of a load management against Washington the other day when they lost. He's back in the lineup in the third-line defense with Arbor Jack Eye Wi-Fi. And Jacob Fowler, the WJC gold medal winner from a few seasons ago for the U.S. development team, will start. Sam Montembeau will back him up. For the Buffalo Sabres, head coach by Lindy Ruff, they're 25-16-40. You know about Jarmo Kekalainen takeover for Kevin Adams. Then this team went on a 10-game win streak. They're still 8-2 in their last 10. They are in the first wild card spot after being dead in the water, fourth in the Atlantic. It sounds like this: Tage Thompson, Zach Benson, Alex Tuch, Matthias Samuelsson, and Rasmus Dahlin. Samuelsson has the best plus-minus, I think, of 18. Again, I was updating the numbers from yesterday. I'm paid 20 now on Buffalo. It'll be Josh Norris. He thought he wasn't going to play with the rib injury. He's going to be the second line center with Noah Ostel and Josh Doan. Bowen Byram, Owen Power will back him up on defense. Then it'll be Ryan McLeod on the third line with Jason Zucker and Jack Quinn. Jacob Bryson and Zachary Mensah will be the back-end line defense. And then Peyton Krebs on the fourth line with Jordan Greenway and Beck Allenstein. Colton Ellis going to get the start at net tonight, because Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen played yesterday in that win against the Philadelphia Flyers, who are continuing their free fall. They have games in hand still, but they need to get back on the pace and get back in the playoffs. It seems like everybody in the Metro right now, besides the Islanders, is losing games at the wrong time. And they are more, not struggle street, they're around in the situation where Philadelphia wins a few games in a row, they can get back in. But if they're in the Atlantic, it would be even tougher to say, because all those teams can't stop winning. So the Montreal Canadiens now starting to make their way out on the ice. Again, both of these teams, let's make sure I pull back into my notes again. For Montreal, 6-2-2 in their last 10. I think Ken Hughes has done an outstanding job as GM. We talked about him a lot. Again, gold for Fowler with WJC in 2024. He has the best numbers. And between Sam Montembeault, and Jacob Dobes. Dobes is going to be scratched today. They are carrying 3 net minors. But when you have Suzuki, Caufield, Demidov, and Slafkovsky, it's the youngest team in the league. And quite frankly, that's why I put young elite talent in terms of the headline of the story today, because Montreal is the youngest and Buffalo is the second youngest. When you have that core group, I think Ken Hughes has done outstanding. They took the opening meeting 4-2 on October 20th, but this season series is going to finish off in January. They're going to meet 3 more times. And for the Buffalo Sabres, again, we profiled where they are. Matthias Samuelsson a plus 17. Again, those numbers are from the other day. But maybe their strength was letting go of Kevin Adams. It's kind of interesting to say because this is still his team, but they went on that long win streak. Maybe you kind of go ahead and say, you know what? We'll just see what we got. We need to make the change and kind of change the course of everything that's going to be there. And I think that's what they did. So for Buffalo in this recent streak, their goaltending and defense have been excellent, but they're going to miss Alex Lyon. 10, 6, and 3, 282, 906 in a shutout. I don't think he's going to be injured for very long, just for a couple weeks, but he's had the best numbers. Now, UKP and Ukko-Pekka can definitely try to get everything set away and get better numbers. Again, he's still got a lot. And then you have some really good goaltenders in the back end that you're going to want to call up at some point. But we thought Buffalo already had the talent. They're showing it now. We knew Montreal did. This Atlantic is very competitive. And in this poll question today, again, I'm surprised that someone already made this vote. Maybe they wanted to say it too. I said, who is more likely to make the playoffs, Montreal or Buffalo? Again, you got the Canadiens, Sabres, both or neither. I said I'd be surprised too if neither would happen, but that is what the one vote already selected has given today. So we'll see how much that headlines. I would happen to think both of these teams are on track to make it right now. And again, for me as a diehard Red Wings fan, I'm still holding my breath for March and April to see what they do, because that's usually when they fall apart like wet tissue paper. We'll come back in, we'll call this game. I'm going to flip back into the Montreal feed. As they're carrying the anthems on Buffalo, we went through a little bit of the ceremony. They're not even carrying the anthems on the Canadiens feed. That's interesting. So I guess we'll stay with the Buffalo so we can flip later and see. We're just going through both the anthems here, and then we will break out into this game. I'm really excited for this one. Honestly, two teams we don't cover very often, but it really is worth covering right now. You got one team in the top wild card. You got one team that could be in the second seed after today. So getting you set for the numbers here. Jacob Fowler, 4-3-2, 246, 908 the shutout. Colton Ellis would be his opposition, 5-4, 311, 900 save percentage. Don't have a shutout yet for him, but Colton Ellis, rookie netminder against rookie netminder. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this matchup. Now, Fowler has had the better numbers, as mentioned and advertised, in between Jacob Dobson and Sam Montembeault. Again, he's only played about 10 games. It's been the same thing for Colton Ellis on the other side. So two young rookie netminders getting the start in the opposition today against two teams that are incredibly offensively talented. For the Buffalo Sabres, when you think about guys like Owen Power, Bowen Byram, Rasmus Dahlin, who's the captaincy, Jacob Bryson, you have young prospects in there that you want to see continue to improve, especially Owen Power with that contract that he signed. I think the numbers have got to be better, but you just got to let things pan out and let it grow. We said that a lot between Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings. Again, everybody's so frustrated because of the seventh season, not being able to get to where you want. Look at where the team is now. As Maxim Afinogenov is banging the drum here and leading the Let's Go Sabres chants, Let's Go Buffalo chants. So I'm going to continue to be interested about this at the KeyBank Center. Again, I think it's been a couple of seasons since we covered the Sabres. I think it was Sabres Kraken, one of the ones on a Monday night. This is a Thursday night in 2026, middle of January. So here we go. Rasmus Dahlin, you got the Buffalo Head jerseys of the 05-06 throwbacks. And that is exactly what the Sabres need to have. But I do like that Swords logo right in the middle that they've always used. Is this one just wide of Jacob Fowler on the right side of red line. Here's a pin against the glass cage. Thompson tried to throw it out in front, and that was brushed aside by Jacob Fowler. This is sent back in behind the end boards now, Montreal. And their road whites with the blue pants and red part of the shoulders. We'll send this around the end boards here. Buffalo will get the interception. Here's a chance now for Alex Tuck to put it in behind the end boards. Just one shot for Buffalo here, not even a minute expired at KeyBank Center. Two studly teams in the Atlantic. I don't think we would have said that here maybe a few weeks ago, as this is knocked away from Malenstein and flipped back down the ice. Race for the puck will belong to the Sabres. They'll win the hybrid ice. I will do the best I can in this matchup. I hope to have more name call-outs as I get familiar with everyone else between these two teams. But these are two teams, honestly, especially for Buffalo, that I don't cover really at all. So I probably won't have as many call-outs until we start knocking all these down like bowling pins. Here will be an ozone draw for the Sabres on the left up. It'll be picked up now for Carrier, send this back and behind the end boards. And now Demidov on the prowl. He was on the left side red line. We'll go for a passive forecheck here. It just bounces in between some skates. Now Hutson will push this one ahead. Lane will throw this back behind the end boards. Be stopped by Colton Ellis. Picked up by Bowen Byram. Let to go left to right. The Buffalo Sabres, they are in the home black throwbacks. As we get a whistle here at 18:30. I'm just going to flip to TSN just to see what we have. Because I kind of like carrying this feed anyway, if possible.
Sabres who need to do consistent defending. That is something that has plagued them in the past, but
this is picked up near the left side red line and flip back down the ice. And Suzuki recollect across that same red line. Now Philip Danault, who was picked up from that trade. You got Texier and Danault, and it didn't take them a whole heck of a lot to get them at all. In fact, one of them was a contract termination for Texier, and Danault was just a third-round pick. I know he only had a couple of points for the Kings, but Pizza Man likes where he is. As it's picked up now for Tuck. Now Josh Norris sent it back in behind the end boards. This will be recollected by the Canes. Dome lost the puck. He flipped back down for Dobson and start this one again. Buffalo and Lindy Ruff squad in the middle of a full sail change. Try to take this one from left to right, but recollected by Montreal. Flip back down the ice. Well, ice it against themselves, and indeed they do. As we picked up by Matthias Samuelsson. They got their top line defense out there right now for Marty San Luis squad. Again, I'm not sure if I'm still really thinking about Marty San Luis not playing as a member of the Bolts and then being a bench boss, but it's been there for a while. The youngest teams in the NHL, Buffalo about 25.75, Montreal 25.56. We talk about that. But they're not really in the rebuilding stages. They're ready to go now, and hopefully they keep everything else together with that salary cap compliant. And we should see these teams do damage for a long time. Tage Thompson can't win the ozone draw. As this will be Matheson, who lost the puck for a moment. And now goalie lost it for a moment. Matheson will flip this back in behind the end boards. Be stopped by Colt Ellis. Opportunity now for Brandon Gallagher. Slap shot wide of the left post. As it'll be settled back down now for Matheson. Mike Matheson now has some trouble with it in behind his own net, but Montreal back on the back check. We'll send this around the end board. This was a long lip. This will be kept in there by Dobson for the moment. Long outstretched passes, a good one off a one-on-one. Colt Ellis, couple saves, and then ripped above the crossbar and in. Are you serious? What a shot. And the Canadiens get the first goal of the game at 16:49. That was a secondary rebound effort for Cole Caufield. And he's the one that's going to open the scoring. That long outstretched pass was a good start. Be able to get this across the left wing. I'm going to pull this up on the ESPN part of the box. Cole Caufield with his 22nd. He gets a rebound near that left post. And as it was closed at 5-hole, I believe, by Ellis off the part of the glove, then it was lifted from the lefty and Cole Caufield toward the top right of the mesh. What a rip that was. He was already stuck in the butterfly. Cole Caufield makes no mistake, and he gets the first goal of the game. Noah Dobson has the primary assist right now. We'll see if we get a secondary. Here's a long one off the stick of Fowler as Buffalo tried to score again. He played with the hand, and now Montreal tried to get it out of their own end. So Cole Caufield gets the opener at 3:11. That was a wicked wrister off that rebound. At 16:20 left to go in the first. We'll mark that when we get a break. Closed down by Fowler. And sent back around the end boards here for Hutson. Picked up on the backhand. And we are going to be getting a penalty called. I think Montreal going to go to the box here. It's Lane Hutson going to pick up a minor penalty. It looks like a hook. Montreal penalty kill has been good lately. They are 14th, almost at 80%. Sabres score immediately, though, off of a one outstretch. It's Tage Thompson from the right dot as he picks it back up. So Buffalo, as Lane Hutson, that power play is done, and Sabres go 1-for-1. Tage Thompson with a rifle of a release. He lets it go near the dot and scores. As this is sent back in behind the end boards. Matheson tried to stop it. And now we're going to look to start again. As it's kept in on the blue line side, Tage will walk in and just shoot it from the left side dot. He waits out goalie and then scores on a sneaky wrister. There's a good shout out there for the Montreal Sports Bar TSN. That's 199 goals now for Tage Thompson, so he can get number 200. Here's a steal and a ripper, as that one was fought off. Demidov able to get that one against Ellis. We might already need to go to break. It's 1-1 here between Buffalo and Montreal. Again, they just lost the scorecard on for a moment, but it's already been eventful here. And we only have a few minutes essentially expired from this game so far. So NHL coaching wins all time. Lindy Ruff with 925. He's past Barry Trotz, who was fifth. Paul Maurice is next on the list. He needs 16 more. He's got 940. Ozone win here for Montreal as it's sent back around the bank with Suzuki. Try to pick it up there. Cole Caufield from Noah Dobson. That was the opener there. Tage Thompson with the latest though, as it's sent back down. Matheson sends it around the back pass. Demidov will take a look. This is pushed up the ice. Ray Slafkovsky at a stick up for a moment. Slafkovsky now gets the steal. Buffalo able to get it out. It's a 2-on-2 developing, but they're going to have to chip it away. And Montreal, no problem, able to get this one again. Slafkovsky off the 1-on-3. He blows an edge, and he's got to get back in on side as Buffalo can take their change, no problem. We got a tuck line out there right now. We'll pull back up these Montreal rosters. This is recollected now for tuck up a long chance. This one gets blocked since it's back from the point. As now this is an opportunity that gets knocked away again. Good blocking off the skates for Metsa. Sent back in behind the end boards, and this goes up and out, play off the stick. Shot board reads 3-3. And we got 14:29 left to go in this opening frame. Caufield and Thompson are your goal scorers respectively for both teams. Interesting enough, most times short-handed this season, Montreal is tied for second, 154. They've taken a lot of penalties. Now, normally that is something that's retroactive to having a young team. I think as they go along, get more experience, that won't be so much of a problem. Fowler is going to hold a long shot from Metsa. So again, Quinnipiac there for Metsa, 5 seasons for him. And Quinnipiac, I know that from the Bobcats, had played the Michigan Wolverines quite a lot, and they've gone back and forth against each other. It's a really good team alongside for Graham Pecknold. Season after season, Zach Bolduc will go ahead and take this one as Montreal wins a D-zone draw. Put back in behind the end boards. And off the long flip. No problem off the recollect as Bolduc will flip this one in. Sent back in behind the Buffalo defense. Bolduc tries to force his hit off the clear end. The long outstretched pass is a good one for the Sabres. Here's his spin and turn. This is the recollected. Zucker now throws it back at the point. This will hit the glove of Fowler off the right pad as well. And flip back down the ice. Long flip there for Montreal. No problem. 13:50 left to go in this first. Intercept here. Bolduc finds himself cutting the left side post. He just missed that. Short side chance. And this goes to Lane. Again, his penalty was converted there for Buffalo and Tage Thompson. They get a 4-3 lead on the shot board. This game's tied at 1. Good battle in behind the net for the Sabres here. Rasmus Dahlin trying to get this one out. New turnaround as Montreal gets a steal. Back in behind the left side dot, but Buffalo then immediately intercepts. This is recollected off the stick shot. Here will be a spin and turn now for Buffalo and across the end boards. Settle back down for Mallenstein. This will throw this at the net. Caden Gooley try to get it out now and chip it in off the glass and across the Sabres logo. Good stick chops in between both teams now, trying to fight for possession. And they're not trying to use the body. They're just trying to go ahead and knock it down with the stick and push it ahead. Kind of get those steals that way. That's the best way to teach young players how to play defense. Long clear from 100 feet will go to Fowler, and he will hold on to it. It's a 1-1 game right now between the Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. And there's been a lot of action here. I'm going to flip this feed, though, because Montreal keeps closing out their score chyron, and it always makes me feel like they're going to break. I don't like to hear for that.
And with up to $400 in easy credit, there's nothing like having an excuse to drink all over again. Nothing like platinum nights and realizing the place lives up to the hype.
Because I already said that a couple times. I don't want to tell everybody to keep going to break when we're not. So we're just going to stay on the Buffalo feed right now.
With investing options at Navy Federal Credit Union, Rob feels financially at ease, which means he can worry about other things like landing this fish. What if the fish is really big? What if it's not a fish? What if it's treasure? What if the treasure is cursed? Rob has a lot of things to worry about, but as a member of Navy Federal, his finances aren't one of them. Become a member today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
When I have this call, there are so many things going on. If they have a problem, I'm going to help them find a solution or answer whatever questions they might have.
I treat every customer like I want my grandparents.
To me, it's extremely important being able to be someone else's voice in this room, to help another person feel heard, listened to, and appreciated.
We are advocates for our members. We have to understand that.
So Tage Thompson with the power play goals. We're in break from Noah Ostlund and Jason Zucker. Caufield and Dobson, your goal scorer and assist at 311, 405. Tage Thompson answers immediately later.
11 years with the Buffalo Sabres, and of course, the mayor of Hutson.
Yeah, that's awesome. Going up there with the people putting the sign up there on the wall.
So I flip back on the Buffalo Sabres feed because TSN just continues to take out the score chyron. Never know when they're going to break. Pominville was welcome to Pominville up there toward the fans as they have a whole bunch of celebrations. They got an NHL 06 on the side of everything else for the fans when they go out and they get some food and stuff. So you got some 2000s music as well. Again, I'm carrying the MSG feed as Oliver Kapanen will get set to take this one. But pretty cool. Between Monday and Thursday, get a couple of ceremonies from the federal retirement and now the 05-06 Sabres team. As the stick was broken in half, Buffalo able to keep it in. And Montreal going to essentially play this one short-handed unless they can get it out. Mike Matheson, much of the vulcanized rubber, get picked up near the right side dot. Juraj Slafkovsky helps Matheson able to get it out. Good funnel pass right up the gut. But it's too far for Kapanen, and it'll be iced. Shot board is 6-3 Sabres. Again, it's been a couple of seasons since I covered Buffalo. Last time I think we did so was 2024 against the Kraken, and I know that was on a Monday night at KeyBank, and that was a wild, high-scoring game. I think the Kraken team was much different a couple of years ago than it is now, but they're starting to put a whole bunch of points together and some wins. Last time I was on the air with Cooper Hopkins before the calendar turn, we saw the Seattle Kraken dead last in the league. They've definitely kind of turned it around. There's a long slap shot. This will be partially blocked from Slafkovsky and up and on a play. So we will keep it going again after this draw at 12-19 as he got that with a back skate. Vicious one-timer. And for Noah Ostlund, we'll take that shot. So interesting to be able to watch these two teams that are very, very young. Again, Demidov, you think about him in the rookie part of the campaign. Lane Hutson already setting a ton of records. You're able to watch the younger brother in Cole on the side for the USA development team as well. So, and then you have one of those ones on the Washington Capitals, as the Hudsons are everywhere in terms of that family. 12:05 left to go in the first. Long outstretched pass. That's what Lenny Rush. I'm going to do a lot in this game. It's Jack Quinn. Get a recollect on, try to funnel it toward the net off the sweep, then be fought off there by Jacob Fowler. Again, he's part of WJC gold medalist for Team USA. Is Ryan McLeod. And off the backhand, able to pick this one up for Matthias Samuelsson. And settle around the inboards for Dowling. Now for Zucker. Flip back in behind the inboards now. He recollect for Jack Quinn. Quinn got Joe Veleno in his grill, the former Red Wing. Seem to be finding a home with Montreal, which is good. Almost halfway through the first. And another slap shot bit one of the Canadiens. That one's going to hurt a little bit as Buffalo will recollect with Matthias Samuelsson. Sammy Blais Goes to the bench. He probably got banged up a little bit off that shot. Definitely over 90 miles an hour. As Lindy Ruff squad takes a full change. Block shots 5-1 for the Canadiens right now. As Jacob Fowler will take the clear from 100. Peyton Krebs off a long shot. Another one solved by Fowler. Been a lot of that for the Sabres. Good loft pass. Another long chance. Some traffic in front of the net. And a penalty might be coming against the Montreal Canadiens as Bowen Byram settle it down. Tage Thompson scored on the power play. Indeed it is. Colton Ellis going to leave the net. Opportunity now for Tage. 72, 6 set of hands. Again, hard to believe 6'6", 220. Be able to move and skate like that. Again, he was the winner medalist in the Worlds for the United States. And we have that one at Local Sports Guy. Traffic in front, and I think one of the Canadians just knocked down one of the Sabres in tuck. So Caden Gooley, who was a healthy scratch for maintenance, is now going to sit in the box for what he hopes is 2 minutes as he gets some camera shots down on MSG feet of Marty San Luis. Again, as I mentioned, you can't help but think of him, Steven Stamkos and San Luis. I've been able to lift the cup and things like that, or I should say Vinny LeCavalier, not Steven Stamkos. But when you think about that, it has been a lot of talking between myself and Cooper Hawkins for the Calgary Flames and the Tampa Bay Lightning at the time. But those guys are absolute legends. I think he's done a great job coaching this team. Same thing for Lindy Ruff. You got fire Lindy, sorry Lindy, all those ones the last couple of years. And then you move on from Kevin Adams and get Jarmo Kekalainen. And it's the same team as Kevin Adams. But I think you just kind of turn the page, and that kind of gets things going. Rasmus Dahlin, the captaincy for Buffalo. Pick this one off the back pass. Second power play for the Sabres. Thompson scored on the opener. Now tuck. Is Doan. We'll send this back in behind the end boards. Kept in at the point. Dahlin. They'll settle here for Tage Thompson. Dahlin with it. Noah Ostlund will let the chance go. As this bouncing off the backboard, it's dangerous speed, but Canadians will recollect across the slot and flip it back down to Colton Ellis. Buck 15 left to go on the second power play. Dahlin will play the pass from Colton Ellis. Send it back straight again. Same line of attack as Tage Thompson finds his way up into the right wing and off the drop pass. This goes back to Tage as he drew a few Canadians. He's got it on the left circle off the hold, patient. Ostlund waiting for a back pass. Here's a chance and scores in tight for the Buffalo Sabres, 2 for 2 on the power play, and they've got the lead. Josh Doan, number 91, your goal scorer. It's his 15th, and Doan, after he played that pass from Tage Thompson, he just stuffs it in. He roofs it over Fowler, who was in the butterfly on the left post. He just banks it in over his head.
Good decision by Doan. Power play once again on the way. His 5th power play going of the season. And to speak of the value that he has brought to this hockey club, I don't know what kind of words you put with it, Razor, but he just does so much for this team. What an addition.
So Sabres fans, you can tell me better than I. Again, not having covering this team that much, but 2 for 2 on the power play already, making both of that look easy. It's Tage Thompson and Josh Doan from Thompson and Noah Ostlund. Ostlund already picked up a couple points. Their power plays look very good. Sent out in front again, looking for Beck Malenstein. They could have had a 3rd goal already in this period. This is sent back in behind the inboards. And I was very excited to be able to check this matchup. We don't normally cover both of these teams on this Thursday. And Doan's got his 15th. Again, you think about him as a member of the former Mammoth, picked up now inside again and up and lifted over Ellis. And now they're going to say no goal maybe. Let's look at 8:45. The time is still moving back. Everybody was celebrating for the road fans for the Montreal Canadiens, and we got some camera shots. We're going to need to get that again, as that was not scored. Noah Dobson. This will be sent back in behind the end boards. Again, the time was still going. I apologize for that, as it's sitting behind the end boards now for Buffalo. They'll start again from left to right. It feels like amateur hour for me. Off the windmill. Good move there for Buffalo. This will be sent back down and across the half wall. And recollected across the blue line. There's a long chance this will get deflected. And Montreal will send this down and around the end boards. Canadians now try to pick this one up right to left. Good forecheck for Lindy Ruff's squad. Try to recollect it across the left boards. And flip back down. Buffalo. Start again. Get a line change on the fly. Montreal trying to provide some forecheck and support. Long shot be kicked away by Colton Ellis. And chipped in off the glass. Matheson can take this one D to D. And start it again. And off the long outstretched pass. Noah Dobson trying to get a stick on it now, but Buffalo able to enter still. Tuck almost lost it to Gallagher. And now trying to push the other way is Joe Valeno. And on the prowl. Will finish his hit. And alongside Jacob Bryson. And this will be recollected off the back pass for Tage Thompson, who wears the assistant captaincy. He's sent back now. A stick gets taken out of the hand. And this is going to be a penalty against the Sabres that I am sure of. So Montreal going to get a power play opportunity here, get a chance to tie it. We're more than halfway through the first. Couple power play goals to tell you about. That's why Buffalo's got a 2-1 lead. Come back, 7:10 left in the opening frame. It's been a good game so far.
Coming to the stage this Friday, Leeds first team karaoke night. But who's wondering what my flaky red flags and rice take center stage?
So let's get the numbers here. Particulars at 10:30. It is Doan on the power play. From Thompson and Austin.
With Tesla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Tesla. With investing options from the Federal Credit Union, Ron feels financially at ease, which means he can worry about other things like landing this fish. What if the fish is really big? What if it's not a fish? What if it's treasure? What if the treasure is cursed? Rob has a lot of things to worry about, but as a member of Navy Federal, his finances aren't one of them. Become a member today.
So as we go along in this story, I try to figure it out. I'm Hopeful Sports Guy at the end to give you a full game story about the broadcast. I'm just going to keep my eyes on Buffalo and the way that they look. Again, Montreal as well, covering both teams, but still, I want to know if they can actually do it and make the playoffs. And this is a big-time matchup that we have today between two teams that are obviously very young. So that chance for Texier earlier went off the top of the bar and out off the lip. It did not cross the line. Penalty kill for the Sabres has been quite good this year, 84.6%. Montreal has a 14th out of 32 teams on the power play. As Caufield, Suzuki, now we'll send this around the inboards. We picked up now off the back pass. Caufield trying to intentionally center it out, looking for Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky now gets taken down pretty hard back in behind the net. Picked in off the back pass and for Cole Hutson. Start again. Cole Hutson was the guy in the WJCs. You always get a chance to see him bringing in to make plays. Offensive defenseman as well as they come. Slafkovsky and around for Demidov. We'll get this one back. Good move. Picked up off the back pass. As it's recollecting on the right side. Buffalo is going to get another penalty. And smartly here, Marty St. Louis squad is going to go ahead and let Buffalo touch. They're going to get a 5-on-3 here, at least for a minute 4.
Well, no, it's going to be a 2-minute call here. So the Sabres, we have 2 men. Montreal has had 2 goals scored in 5-on-3 situations. The Sabres have been pretty good at this moment when it's double call. Going by, it's going to be the guy who's going to see here was walked right in front of you, lifts the stick. Right in that face mask. Said the ref was right up in front of my face with the mask. So, good kill. Strong at the left of the Buffalo net.
So Montreal wins it on the face-off. They got an opportunity now on the left side red line, 5-on-3 for a minute 4. Here's a fake slap. And the left side goes off of the outside of the post. That's Hutson looking for the Karen play. Got Caufield near the left dot. Montreal patient with it now as they're working behind the net. Buffalo trying to hold that triangle. Here is Caufield. He scored the opener. Now Suzuki sends this one. Hutson had his foot up in the air, fake the shot, goes back to Hutson. One-timer, scores! Excellent work for Montreal on the power play. It was 5-on-3. It felt like they had to score. And Demidov finishes it off. We're tied at dose. So 2-2 is the score. Montreal scores on their power play. Again, it's enough time to carry over for a full power play here. 1:10 left in it. Hutson will walk in. Here's a chance, and Ellis have to play the carom here. We'll hold on mercifully, but it feels like we might have a lot of goals on our hands tonight in between these two teams. And again, that's kind of what I was hoping for as well. So Zach Benson slash against Gallagher. He's the one that's back on the ice. Bowen Byram is still in there for the high stick against Lane Hutson. But it is a 2-2 game with 5:19 left to go in the opening frame. And I already feel like we have a story on our hands that is the length of it, and it's just 5:19 left to go in the first. They flip back down. So Sabres, if they could kill this one at least, and they go to the dressing room at 2-2, you feel like it's still anybody's ball game. But again, the way that this is going between Ellis and Fowler, you want to see what happens between these two rookie netminders. But again, a lot of these young players are elite on offense, so it's not going to be fun, I think, for the goaltenders today. Long outstretched pass will be sent back down length of the ice. And Jacob Fowler will get a chance to start again as we are inside the final 5 of the opening frame. Joining with it on the KeyBank Center, watching this one on the MSG feed. Texier. And off the drop pass, and Buffalo is right there to steal it at the line and flip it down. 20 seconds left to know. Greenway will flip that one down. Shot board is 10-7 Sabres over the Canadiens right now. As Matheson, he tried to go with speed across the line, almost lost it, tried to throw it out front off of Darlene, and that's going to force Ellis to come out and make the save near the left side red line. So Montreal will get an ozone draw out of this. Not a bad design. With 4:21 left to go in the first. I apologize on the Monday side that I was not able to carry this on YouTube. Vibro says, can I see the game first? Subscribe. Yeah, if I could do it, I would do that, honestly, but I wouldn't be able to do these streams anymore, Rebo. Otherwise, that would be no problem for me, but they would take the channel and everything else off. I will give you the play-by-play nonetheless. Again, I wanted to get up this stuff here for the camera side on Monday, but considering I can't cover anything local, I have to go make the way to the parents' house to cover that one on Monday. Otherwise, we would have had that there in the feed, but it's all posted. 4 minutes left to go in the first. Suzuki lost the puck, put it across the wall. 2-on-2. On the right wing side, Buffalo's got speed, cross pass, one-timer gets fanned on, and this one gets sent back down the ice. Slafkovsky pushed the other way with pace now. He's trying to hold off Bowen Byram and Buffalo. Able to get it again. Up and down the ice we go. And off the back pass. Tage Thompson centering feed out in front, fouled off by Fowler as he got a piece of it. And this will be sent back down. And Buffalo with Rasmus Dahlin who get pinched against his own end. Try to get a steal here for Tage Thompson again. 6'6", 220. I wanted him on the Red Wings for a long time, but considering he makes essentially nothing for a player as good as he is, he's going to be here with the Sabres for a long time. This is sent back in behind the Swords logo for the Sabres. And flip back down. Caden goalie push this one ahead as he goes to the left side red line. Sent back down the ice. 2:55 left to go in the opening frame. Buffalo leads the shot board 11-7, but we're tied at those. Montreal try to get it out of their own end. Push the other way. Doan just scored on the power play. Cross pass. Doan try to pick it up off the inboards now. He beats two Canadiens to it, takes a short side ripper, and then somebody loses their helmet or a glove. Montreal able to get that one down and still trying to play defense. You got Doan providing the screen in front. Here's a turnaround chance. And that'll get blocked. And sent back down the ice. Carrier go ahead and take his change as Mallenstein have this one behind him. Block shots are 10-1 Montreal. So definitely doing that right at this point in the game at least. Brendan Gallagher gets spin and turn around, lost it in the offensive end, trying to bank it in off the end boards. Montreal will race for it, and it'll be a hybrid ice against the Sabres.
Now 2-on-1 here with Dahlin investing this puck comes across. Look at this puck is just floating. It doesn't hit the ground. It's trying to sauce across, but it just starts floating. You can see that's just trying to time it where it should hit the ice, and it's still in the air, goes right over top of the stick. Benson once again, the feeds the cage down low. You see it just bearing down on that stick. He knows it's coming, and he wants to make sure he's got good wood on it. And he didn't go good save.
We'll pick up the play-by-play in a moment as this goes upsides with 1:52. We'll take a break, and then we'll finish up first. So this 7:15 puck drop is going to be delayed because of the 05-06 Sabres ceremony. So our scores will probably be a little bit later as well. End of the first for all the other games besides ours because of the ceremony. The Penguins lead 2-0 on the Flyers, who need to get back to their winning ways. We'll pull that up here really quick while we're in the break. Tristan Brazo, 13th on the power play. Brian Rust, who's 17th on the power play as well. Stuart Skinner, who's 7 of 7. Sim Larson, 12 of 14. Jackets have a 1-0 lead on the Canucks. If you follow the hockey guy, Charlie Coyle, his 10th in the power play from Kirill Marchenko and Adam Fantilli. You can't put the Blue Jackets in the panic situation because they're the one that just moved on and got Rick Bowness as their new head coach. So I don't think they're essentially waiting for the draft. They're trying to salvage their season. Elvis has stopped 11 of 11, and Kevin Lankinen, the goaltender for the Canucks, 14 of 15. We'll see what Columbus can do. They're 10-7-4 at nationwide, but they're 20-19-7. You expected them to be better. The Canucks, you think they're waiting for the draft. And I ask you this from covering the World Juniors. Is Ivar Stenberg worth the #1 pick? Are you still going McKenna? Or are you going somewhere else? Because it wouldn't be a surprise. I agree with Hockey Guy on this. I agree with Shannon to get another Swede as a member of the Vancouver Canucks. Do what you can, but I think Stenberg, he looked really good in that tournament. Sharks and Capitals will get set to start the second period. They are scoreless. We might cover that while this is in a commercial break, once we get to that point. Played it at the point now. Matheson trying to send us off the back of Colt Mills. It'll be recollected now for Buffalo. They'll flip ice from right to left. And I think a delayed offside. Buffalo's going to have to touch up as Matheson now start again here. Picked up now and off the spin and turn. Let's go Caufield. Good set of hands. Able to keep the possession alive. Put it back in behind the man boards, but I don't think Montreal just missed gain in that right side red line. So it'll be nice and 115 left. So for an 05-06 reunion for autographed alumni jerseys for Buffalo, who are you taking? Taking Palmerville? Are you taking Ryan Miller? Taking a couple other guys? Again, it's not a storied history for the Buffalo Sabres. And again, for their fans, I'll say it. Brett Hull was in the crease. Buffalo Sabres should have won that cup. As it's picked up now, here's a chance. And this will be awesome with a chance. And it'll be saved by Fowler with 1 minute left to go. So Noah Ostlund has been impressive in this game so far. 2 assists and a ripper of a shot near the right side post. Be close to 5-hole now by Jacob. 12-7. That is where they lead right now, but the score is tied at 2. Ozone draw is lost here for the Sabres. Again, I love those Buffalo head jerseys. I'd like to see them wear. But between that and the swords, I think those are pretty cool. This is recollected now for Ostlund on his backhand. He's waiting for some help. Bowen Byram loses the puck in the corners. It's sent back around the end boards now. Opportunity here for Doan, as he's wearing the 91 that I just saw retired alongside with the Red Wings this week. Chance for Power. Look for a pass across. And now it's be flipped back across for Doan. Bowen Byram. We'll settle it back down now. 20 seconds left to go in the first. Bowen Byram. This will be flipped back in behind the end boards now for the Sabres. Good release as Texier will settle it down for Lane. Lane Hutson will flip the side of the ice. Montreal content to go to the dressing room. Tied at dose after 1. Pair of power play goals for Buffalo. Cole Caufield and then another power play goal. And alongside for Montreal and Ivan Demidov. So 3 extra man tallies in this game so far on 4 goals. It has been entertaining. We'll see what happens when we get to the second frame. Talk to you in a bit.
Well, the Buffalo Sabres 14-2-0 in their last 16 games, wins 9 of their last 11 at home. And this one starts off with the 05-06 reunion circle at center ice. And then 2 goals apiece for Sunday when we come back to the Rockies Airmission Report. The Buffalo and Montreal.
So let's get the stats after 1. 12-7 shots on goal for the Sabres. Hits, not a very physical game, more speed. You would expect that with 2 young teams, but Montreal leads that category 9-7. Face-offs belong to the Canadiens too, 14-10. Power plays are 1 for 2 for Montreal. And 2 for 2 for Buffalo. Block shots, I don't normally throw that in there, but this one definitely stands out. 11-1 Montreal. So that's probably just more of a let your goalie see it, Lindy Ruff versus block it, run a Marty St. Louis and Jacob Fowler tendency. You'd have to think when it's that many. So Noah Dobson with a long pass across the left wing of 314. Caufield first shot stopped with the glove and then lifted top shelf past Ellis. Thompson waits out the defense and scores against 6'6", 220. He scores again, it would be 200. He sits on 199. Another power play as Goalie gets busted, and Doan lifts over the mesh of Fowler. Zach Benson, high sticking call. Can Montreal tie? Texier hits the post earlier and it bounces out. Byram takes a penalty. It's a 5-on-3. Demidov, Caufield, Hutson stay patient. Demidov rocket, Mister, and it's 2-2. Benson fans in a wide open 2-on-1 with a couple minutes left. And thank you to KeyBank Center for this. The Sabres are 14-2-0 in their last 16 games. So they are red hot.
Sure. It's just, we have really good well. You know, C's and G's are confused a lot more than you think. They got great internet.
Who are we bringing in? Why don't you just
So Demidov is the second one on the power play. From Wayne Hutson and Nick Suzuki.
Who was the club's leading scorer that year? Nice to see you again. It's been a while, Max. Nice to see you again. Max, of course, was up there for 5 earlier in the week, but that was before all of you reconvened.
Yeah, so like this morning in the locker room, all the guys, Lindsay Rock, what was that like reliving and
Let's
so many teammates and friends?
I'll call any highlights that are in here, but let's take a look at NHL action in progress. Again, you get the unique opportunity. All those games supposed to start at the same time, but with the ceremony, we're going to get some live action on the ice. Pittsburgh's already up 3-0 on Philadelphia. So let's go to San Jose and Washington, see if that one's on our NHL network. If it is, then we'll have to go to. Yeah, we can do Sharks and Capitals. It's scoreless right now. It's 17-25. So Sharks, this will help the Red Wings at least. Again, they are on the road. I think they get to go home tomorrow and play the Red Wings. Red Wings do play tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's the Sharks.
San Jose Sharks, the tail end of a man advantage. Washington is 2 for 2 on the kill. San Jose just 2 shots against Logan Thompson.
Yeah, so they're at Washington. They travel to LCA, then Florida and Tampa. So back-to-back Thursday, Friday, back-to-back Monday, Tuesday. And their back-to-back Monday, Tuesday is Florida and Tampa. That's rough. Absolutely rough. At least they get a long stretch of days off. They won't play until the 23rd, Friday against the Blue Shirts. But Washington, Detroit back-to-back, Florida, Tampa back-to-back for the Sharks. That's certainly going to test them, that's for sure.
Even better than it's always been is a testament to the Capitals.
Gary Bettman is in the booth alongside with the Caps. He's checking out Seattle or San Jose and Washington. San Jose is out shooting Washington 14-5, and we are 16 minutes to play in the second period. That's the one thing with Washington is they're very well coached with Spencer Carberry, but they play at their pace and they only do what they want. So I don't necessarily see this system working to get Washington a Stanley Cup. I think they already got their window from the expansion from the Vegas Golden Knights when they won it with the OV and he got his first cup. I think that's probably the limit, but they'll always be competitive, that's for sure.
We look to do something new and creative and different. It's a wonderful event. We've done 44 outdoor games. We've done one here in Washington, and we want to make it an experience that our fans and our players won't forget. And we try and make it a little different every time. And after all the games we've done, we figured, okay, let's give Florida a try.
Bruins have a 1-0 lead on the Kraken. Give you that goal score as well. Merit Kushtadinov, 54 seconds in from Charlie McAvoy. Joey Decord, 1 of 1 against, so he's got a save percentage of 0. You don't see that very often right now, but it's just 1 shot. Flyers have just scored, but it's 3-1. Rodrigo Abels from Cam York and Carl Grunstrom answers Igor Chinakov's latest at 116 from Malkin and Novak.
Dickinson, long range for the cage. That's blocked. It came up high on Anthony Beauvillier as we work 5-on-5 in this nothing hockey game.
second and final meeting between the Caps and Sharks, who saw each other 6 weeks ago in a vastly different game. Washington 7-1 in that one. Thompson made a pad save on Celebrini. Dickinson, another teenager, closing in. Centering pass deflected away again by Thompson, an active goalie stick.
And he lost his stick because it was so active. Celebrini's got at least 5 shots here in this game time.
Celebrini's ability to spin and twist is just marvelous. As we cross the 5-minute mark of the second, Commissioner, we talked, it's interesting because the Caps just had their dads and mentors trip. We saw Jeff Chickering along with Jacob. Jeff, obviously a former NHLer. I wonder, with all the coaching that goes on nowadays, are the athletes better or are they just better trained?
Yes.
Yes, that's the easy way.
But it's true. I mean, our athletes, historically, they've always been great players, but we're at a whole new level, and it's a testament to their development, their coaching, their skill, their commitment to the game, and how they train themselves.
To be able to fit in right away, it's remarkable with so many teenagers in the league.
And there's more up and coming, right?
Yes.
It's a great line. Every team seems to have a great line of kids coming and ready to play through this.
Bruins now take a 2-0 lead. Again, it's Zdeno Chara retirement night, and alongside with the Bruins, so you think the Kraken really don't have a chance on that one. I would say the same thing in between Monday for the Red Wings and the Carolina Hurricanes, but they surrendered a 3-0 lead. The Red Wings still won. Andrew Kopp probably got a little bit of a push off there on Shane Gostisbehere, depending on the way you want to sell it, but even the Red Wings fans like myself will tell you that. Know what's going on with this stuff today, but not very happy with this cutting in and out considering what you paid for on ESPN.
We've got highlights to dive into, which are
Thank
the
you.
storylines so far. For Seneca, of course, the exclusive and official casino sponsor of the Montreal Sabres. Folks, let's dive in on all the scoring. Started with Caufield.
Lots of scoring, and we don't go off the 50 dangerous on point one. He's got the shot, man, and he takes the shot, and the rebound's right here for him.
So what do you guys think as far as the situation that's going on in Columbus? Do you think Rick Bowness is going to be able to put that team on the right path again? Because they have a lot of talent on there, but it's just hasn't really worked out. Let me pull on the NHL standings, considering where we are. Again, these are all live. Nothing has finished yet today. So right now, Columbus 20-19-7, 47 points. They are 7 points out of the playoff spot in the Metro, and they would essentially be 7 points out of the playoff spot in the wild card. 7's not a ton, but the problem with that is, think about the teams that you're chasing. Toronto Maple Leafs have played very well of late to get them back into a playoff spot. The late game is going to be interesting in between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Leafs themselves. Flyers are the only team that's lately been floundering, and the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa Senators is a whole other can of worms. You have the Linus Ullmark situation where he goes on leave of absence to battle through an injury. Then you get all the rumors that go out there about players that are potentially cheating on their wives on the road. I don't know how true all that is in specifics. I'm not saying it doesn't happen across all sports. But for that to come out there and Steve Staios to have to go ahead and issue a statement is not good. So for the Ottawa Senators, I'm going to say they don't make it. I think Columbus, even 2 points back with the same amount of games in hand, has a better chance of making it than the Ottawa Senators do. Do you agree with that or not? The New York Rangers are dead last in the East with 46 points. They can't be dead last for a team that they have, but they are because they're 5-13-4 at MSG. I mean, that is beyond pitiful considering the team that they have. Just 5 home wins. If I scroll down here, only the Vancouver Canucks have less. They've played 19 games at home. And the Rangers have played 22. Canucks could have a better home record when it gets to that same amount. But I just don't know how you only have 5 home wins at this point in the season. You played 48 games. I mean, that's embarrassing. NBA scoreboard, a couple games on Prime. You got the Heat, Celtics, 6-point lead, 38-32, 9:17 left in the second. Thunder Rockets, 36-30. Spurs Bucks, 14-13, just getting underway. That one's in San Antonio. And the Pistons are down 58-51 at the half against the Suns.
Stronger every day. Mentally, physically, from the gym to the ice. Time to lock in. When hits me mentions and training meets tradition. Noble, official training shoe of the NHL.
After a huge new order was placed, we switched to AT&T Business Internet to keep up with the demand. We even brought on an intern to help. All right, clients are expecting delivery in the day. How's it going?
It's looking great, but you keep coming out upside down. Whoa. That's a lot to think at.
Hang in there.
Okay.
I think he's someone's nephew. He's okay. But the internet, right. Turn heads. In the totally redesigned Subaru Outback. Don't test it. Don't approve. Consider Performance's named Subaru the most reliable and best overall automotive brand for 2025.
At DQ, we're all about and. Like our new limited time crispy onion cheeseburger, $7 meal deal. With
Crispy onions and the fry for me.
And fizzy drink.
And a sundae.
Try our new crispy onion cheeseburger, $7 meal deal right now at DQ.
Can I help you, sir?
Here's the bill from the dealership where I got my car, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine cars.
Not how it works. Verizon it is. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill and they'll get you a better deal. Isn't Verizon expensive? No. Better deal? That's 5G network. Don't take this little red situation here. Don't call it that.
Toyota. Let's go places. Sunoco Resorts at casinos. Nothing else comes close. And by Hyundai. It's your journey. Own every mile of a brand new Hyundai.
Let's look at 05065 for sure. Lots of power plays and power play success. Let's get into our KeyBank video breakdown, Mark.
Yeah, great job on the answer here by Thompson. Look at how he's patient with the puck. And don't try to get it to him. I love how Hutson attacks the middle, and now you have time. It's your stage. Stay at time. Wait for everybody to come in the picture. He goes down low to Dome. Watch Montreal is going to come here, but now you're going to have that attacking back door, which is going to occupy enough time for Dome to be able to come out. Look at backdoor attack. Nobody goes on Dome. They want to protect against the Thompson move over the shoulder. Just unbelievable to come in like that to be able to do it. You don't used to do that a lot in practice with Danny Briere. He used to catch me. I wasn't reverse VH like that, but he still cut me all the time.
Talk about that all the time. Any of the years where the power play wasn't succeeding, I always think about Danny Briere side where he plays just like that. Here's some numbers from the first. Obviously, we've got 8 on the game. As we get set for the second, we can say cheese based on who's next to Danny in the booth.
All right, yeah, Jake McKee joins us up here in the booth. Nice to see him.
Good The debate here, we've even got the Strictly hip performing for the Kingston boys.
No, they're fantastic. I've got to know Jeremy and their man there. They're fantastic.
Good stuff. Obviously, a lot of emotions about being here tonight. Rachel, you're down between the benches. And for Jay to get this chat started before we walk down.
Jay, once again, I say to the guys, and anything that I ask, when you guys get together, it's like you never left, eh? You just kind of walk in the room, you're picking on the same guys, and you just have a lot of fun.
It's like riding a bike. It's great seeing all the guys. The truth is, we haven't seen a lot of those guys for 20 years. I left after the 2006 season, so you kind of keep in touch with some guys, but I haven't seen a lot of them in a long time.
Yeah, just so you know, to the people out there, a lot of those guys have changed. I said to Dimitri, your head's as big as mine now.
I think JP's starting to look more like Lindy.
Yeah, he's got the goatee and the ball head, yeah, but you just watch some of these videos. The way you played the game, Jay, was hard, straight ahead, and did whatever it took.
Yeah, it came out.
Let's get set for a second period puck drop. It's a 2-2 game after one. 3 power play goals out of the 4. Buffalo 2 for 2 on the power play. And then the latest one from Demidov answered Cole Caufield. And it's a 12-7 shot board to begin this second set of 20 at the KeyBank Center. So again, it'll be just 2 games in 2 years over the span for the Buffalo Sabres. We need to do some more. Hopefully get a chance to get some playoff hockey as well. And I'm not even trying to make a joke when I say that, because it's been fun to watch this contest so far between 2 of the youngest teams in the league. Montreal is the youngest. Buffalo is the second youngest. 3-on-2 developing now. Caufield off the one-timer, looking for Suzuki. And that one was fought off by Ellis, the left side of the stick. Good steal. As is put in behind the end boards, looking for Caufield, middle of the slot. An opportunity now for the captaincy and Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin on the drop pass. Benson try to pick it up. This one trying to look for Tage Thompson, get a stick look, but he'll peel back. And Montreal can take it left or right. As Carrier throw this one up the gut. Goes in off the backside of the net. Bowen Byram going to turn it over. He's just trying to race back and behind the net. Buffalo collect from right to left, as they have the black jerseys with the Buffalo head, and it makes up the white and red stripes with the all black jersey. Montreal on the road with the white jerseys, blue pants, red tops. This is on the left side red line, flipped in off a backhanded pass. The Demidov would have been offside. So we'll have to start again, back to his defense. Picked up now. We'll flip the ice here for Montreal. Glove down out of the air. Good work there for Owen Power. Again, he's got a lot of size. He's got to get him some points and some skating ability to start building his game to fit into that contract. He's still got tons of time now. You think about that same draft class with Ken Johnson, Owen Power, Matty Beniers. You really want to see those guys continue to improve. Picked up toward the left side red line now. Montreal's defensive end is Jacob Fowler in the stand-up near the left post. Caden goalie. Send this now from left to right off the outstretch pass. And Montreal might be able to get a quick shot on net, as this will be stick to side. Picked up now for the third line and Zach Bolduc. Philip Dano got his stick lifted. And Buffalo able to escape slowly out of their own end now, as it's picked up now for Benson. Lost it for a moment. And this will be windmill chopped out of the air. And played offsides. So we'll get a whistle. 17:28 up to go in the middle frame.
Specifically, you're overseeing everything really, so there's so much to learn and how to speak it, how to teach it. I think that's the biggest adjustment.
Bryson, I thought it was a little bit of an offside, but he's going to call for a holding. 12-8, I want to look at the camera shot here. We'll probably make it very clear. As Bryson, he's just pretty much giving Bolduc a bear hug. So Jacob Bryson with a hold on Zach Bolduc. And now Montreal will get another power play opportunity out of this. It's their third. Picked up now for Demidov near the right point. Cole Hutson keeping his head up. As this goes back to Suzuki. Now for Hutson. Nick Suzuki on the right side looking for a cross pass for Demidov. One-timer instead. Loose out in front and scores. Montreal scores again on the power play. Nick Suzuki able to slam that one home. At least I think he's going to get some help with it. And we'll see who gets credit for the goal, but I do think it's going to be for Nick. And Montreal is going to take a 3-2 lead. First, I thought that backdoor pass from Hutson, from Lane Hutson, was going to go to Demidov near the right dot. He faked out everybody, and then the big slapper that was unleashed by Lane was then lifted up for Nick Suzuki. Ellis was just spinning around back trying to pick it up. He could not. He was down and out. And Suzuki, the captaincy, scores. And it's a 3-2 lead. Power plays, my goodness. 4 power play goals out of the 5 in this game. Shot board is 12-10, but the goaltending pain has continued as Texier and Galeno will spin this around the inboards here. Flip back down now for Buffalo. They are now behind, and power plays have been dangerous for both teams. As this is recollected near the left side of the glass, Buffalo intercepts. Rasmus Dahlin, power, walk-in, shot wrister blocked, and Montreal. Don't know if they're going to be able to escape with speed, but they'll find the entry onside. Buffalo has players back just like Montreal does as they'll recollect in their own end. Look for a long flip, and across the Swords logo. And Samuelson will flip this in around the inboards. They'll give up possession and get off the ice. Sammy Blais back out there now. He's hustling toward the left side, looping as Montreal and Marty St. Louis squad take a full change. Not quite inquiring the booze yet from KeyBank on that long breakout as Colton Ellis stopping in behind the inboards. I haven't really seen much from Colton Ellis or Jacob Fowler in this game right now to comment good or bad. I just know when the power play's out there and one of these teams have an extra attacker, it's probably going in the back of the net. That's what we've been able to say right now. This is the Canadiens now looking to go from left to right. Juraj Slafkovsky gets brushed offside with Oliver Kapanen. We get a stoppage at 15:26.
The position of defense change. When a guy look in the front of the net, which used to be one of the most dangerous places on the ice to go, it's changed a little bit. I asked him when, he said, when he left the game, but that's not the fact.
No, I mean, it's still, in front of the net is the area where the majority of goals are scored. You look at Austin Matthews, the top page shots, the top shooters in the league. If you look at the heat maps where the goals are scored, it's still in that area of the goal line to the slot area. So it needs to be a tough area to go. Your D has to make it harder on players to get in there. And when they stand there, you got to work them. You got to do an easy place to go on the flip side.
So Cole Caufield is going to get one of the assists on Nick Suzuki's goal. I'm assuming for Lane Hutson as well, getting the primary. He's sent back in behind the inboards now. Montreal recollecting to the right side wall. Here's a wrister goes high on the left post. Now Tuck and Dome will watch this one go up and on the plane of the benches. Oliver Kapanen might be going into the room. He's checking his chicklets. I don't know if he got hit with an errant stick in the nose. I think he's going to find his way. He's just checking his teeth. He's going to find his way back to the players' benches. I don't think he's going to go to the room. He must have taken a puck and off the clearing it that they hit him right in the face. That's when he got the whistle. Went up in the bench. It actually bounced off the Kapanen. But I think he's okay nonetheless. That Bolduc says, hey, my man, I'm sorry. But Kapanen, I think, is okay. 14:50 left to go in the second. Good hit there as Benson lost the puck for a moment. We get a chance to pick it up now. Outstretched pass was a good idea, but Buffalo offside. They're going to check back up now. In a cross for Hutson, Dobson. None on the left side, red line. Find an entry here for Suzuki, who just scored. Texier out there. Alexandre Texier, as we said, 2-year, $5 million. Just got that extension. He's been terrific. Here's a feed there for Fowler. Cancel off the right pad. Tuck now trying to chase. And off the outstretched pass will go down the ice. Here's Thompson. This is a bad giveaway right to Texier. Texier now power move on his backhand. Goes back to the point. Rolling puck. To be corralled for near the left side dot. good, excellent work there for Jacob Bryson. Able to get this one out the ice. Settle back down now for Owen Power. Power now slowly flipping in behind the inboards. This is to be recollected there. Carrier can't find it. This is picked up for Benson and behind the net back. Malenstein is there just in case they need it. Near the left side dot, he accelerates and across the ring. On his backhand, there's a good move there from Malenstein. He almost took that one coast to coast, but it forced Fowler into a save.
All right, 13:38 remaining in the second period. It is Montreal with a 3-2 lead. Jay McKee joining us up in the broadcast booth here. And we'll be back to see if the Sabres can time this game up.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you fly. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits with a collection of luxury hotels.
So Suzuki, the latest on the power play.
Over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your
From
wallet?
Hutson and Caufield.
Okay, Richardson, give me the trade. The holidays are done. No way. They are.
So too here. But the Verizon just gave us their best deal.
4 new iPhone 17, all on that.
Yep. And 4 lines, all for just $25.
Got anything under there for me?
It's a holiday miracle.
Our best deals are still here. Come into Verizon and get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed. And 4 lines for just $25 a line.
On that miracle.
Off the burger. Actually, I'll have the chicken.
I feel like everyone's looking at us.
Told you that bar was legit.
Here in the second period of play, count like trivia question time. Andrew Keepers led the Buffalo Sabres with 100 penalty minutes during the 05-06 season. Who was second with 85?
100 minutes left the team.
I knew that was coming from your end.
That's like a month. It's tough month, but a month.
You got to go dig it for the 100 penalty errors.
Check back into the play-by-play here. 13:20 left to go in the second. It's a 3-2 lead for the Montreal Canadiens. Their latest with the Nick Suzuki power play goal. As we settle back down for Arbor Jackeye, I had a chance to call his name. Picked up on the backhand now. Dano try to throw this out in front. And now Buffalo takes a big hit as Benson gets taken off of his wallet. And this will be recollected now for Montreal on the left side red line. Closed up by Ellis. Got a hustle back in the goal crease. Another back pass for Bolduc is canceled off. Gallagher pushed up against the left side boards. And now Benson lead the rush. He'll be sent back in behind the inboards now as the Sabres can take some changes and lose the puck. Left to right come the Canadiens. They'll just clear it in, running around the inboards. 12:35 left to go in the second, almost halfway through this contest. Jason Zucker now slows up at the line, lost the puck, got stick lifted. Buffalo's there on the back end as Jack Guy gave a little bit of a chase. And players come together. Zucker hit hard, his face down, and he is holding his ribs. There was a collision away from the vulcanized rubber that we didn't get to see. And then I see a Montreal Canadien and a Buffalo Sabre down, and Zucker is in serious trouble right now. Hopefully just the wind knocked out underneath him. Get an overhead look just to see what happened. He got hit from behind as players skated into each other. Inadvertently, I would have to say. Trying to pick up a number there, Arbor Jackeye. As he got collided in there with Zucker, and Zucker got the worst of it. It looked like Zucker's face hit the ice. So Zucker is bowled over, and he's skating off in his own power, but he collided his face in the ice. He's going to go into the room, and I imagine for concussion protocol at that. 15-10 is the shot board. So hopefully Zucker will be able to get back into this game. If not, they'll be down a bottom 6 forward. But those Buffalo head jerseys are such a great look. And I believe that both times we covered the Sabres, they wore that same jersey. Noah Dobson. Able to push this one ahead. A little bit too far for Slafkovsky. As this is settled down, back in for Peyton Krebs. Krebs will put it back in behind the end boards, but Montreal will steal. At least get it out of their own end. That was a little bit, that should have been iced. Yes, it is. Did not gain the red line, did Montreal. We'll get stoppage right at 12 minutes.
Things were happening offensively, both 5-on-5 and power play. Obviously, they said the one thing we need to be aware of is take away the ability to play lateral. Montreal is pivoting the zone. You see the Nicholas Crossway passes. They were kind of really stressing.
Players collide again and off the face-off win, but Montreal able to escape with it on the left side mid wing. On the forehand, long shot just wide of Ellis's glove and picked up off the back check. A long flip there for Montreal. Glove down by Buffalo. And Arbor-Jacka, again, he's just giving up a lot of hits right now. As it's picked up here, Slafkovsky gets his pass to Hutson. Send this one down. Now for Rasmus Dahlin. Try to push it in. Peyton Krebs. He gets taken down a little bit back and behind the net. Good hit there for Tage Thompson as he does some work in behind the net. And Suzuki almost gets the steal. There's a long flip, but Dahlin will settle it down across the Buffalo logo. 3-2 game. Just one goal to tell you about in this second period. That was Nick Suzuki on the power play. One timer scores. That one set up from Thompson to Tuck in the left dot. Thompson with a 6 set of hands, keeping the puck alive. Tuck with a bomb near that left point. This game is tied again. So they couldn't take Tage Thompson off the puck. He slowly works his way into the zone. He's on his backhand, stick handles for a bit, buys enough space for Tuck to get open in the left dot. And Dahlin gets a secondary assist from Tage Thompson's already got a couple. It's an even strength goal turned over right in front of the net. And that one was saved by Fowler. As things are starting to get a little bit dangerous here. Arbor-Jacka now trying to get it out of his own goal. This game is tied at 3. And this will be picked up loose puck for Fowler and Jacki and Jordan Greenway. Jacki is giving him some smelly gloves. He wants to go here. I think from what we're seeing now, Greenway is getting a hold of somebody. And now he wants to get a piece of Anderson, the longtime Montreal Canadian. I'd like to see the Zebras let these guys go. Tension starting to boil over here. Shot board just 18-10. Buffalo leads that category with 3 goals on 10 shots against Ellis. And 15 of 18 for Jacob Fowler. So Beck Mallenstein, he's the one that initially gets knocked down, and Arbor-Jacki wants to get a piece of Greenway. And then goalie comes in as well. You have Anderson getting a hold of somebody, say, hey, let's back up a little bit, and then try to get a piece of Greenway to Anderson and vice versa. So some good punches in this game so far, and we'll see what happens here for Jacki. Is he just going to go into the players' bench, or what are they going to do? Jordan Greenway, he's on the players' bench right now, either way. And no penalties against Greenway or Jacki. So 10-17 left to go in the middle frame. We're almost halfway through regulation here. John, over here with you on a solo call at MSG. Watching this one from the KeyBank Center on ESPN+. So a draw to the left here of Jacob Fowler. This will be won by the Canadiens. flip back down the ice. Gallagher will glove it down. They'll stick chop it in behind, as it was Colton Ellis able to get a piece of the puck. This is sent toward the net, right at Ellis, looking for a deflection. Sammy Blais whacking away at it. He had spent some time with the Abbotsford Canucks last year. When they won the Calder Cup, he got worked over. Now Rasmus Dahlin and Blais exchange words.
Here's the redirection. Gets a hold of it. Gets a help from Dahlin. Just doesn't worry about anything other than just putting the man away. Just finding and trying to develop a little room there for Ellis to find that block. Oh, sorry, that's the power and Dahlin goes there. Dahlin up to the backside. It's over power.
Face off to the left for Buffalo net. We are halfway through this game. It's another second takes on the clock.
Here's a tie-up here. It's going to belong to Buffalo. Cole Hutson throw this off the outside of the cage. Cole now off a stick lift, trying to pry it loose. And Buffalo able to escape. 3-on-2. You got Ryan McLeod in there as well. Mattias Samuelsson has his shot go high and off the end glass. As this will be a penalty, I think, against the Buffalo Sabres once they touched the puck. Bowen Byram was tied up with Matheson on the other end of the ice, and that blue play dead. We'll see if Byram is going to go to the sin bin.
Okay, Richardson, the holidays are done. So too, but then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
What do iPhone 17? All on that. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade needed. And 4 lines for just $25 a line.
Every time we drive, we're putting everything we love out on the road. And that's why we'll always drive stiffer.
It's Alex Tuck from Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin, the latest, answered Suzuki's power play goal from Hutson and Caufield. It's 3-3, and we're past the halfway mark of this game.
Please join us in congratulating Jason Pominville and Thomas Vanek on their selection as next season's inductees into the Sabres Hall of Fame.
So Jason Pominville and Thomas Vanek have just been announced next year. They're going to belong to the Buffalo Sabres Hall of Fame and get their jerseys retired at 5. You heard that correctly. So pretty cool honor for them to show that there in front of the Buffalo fans. I really like that. Again, you can talk about the way that teams retire numbers, and some do it more so than others. Again, Sergei Fedorov on Monday was just the 9th number retired in the Red Wings' original 6 franchise history, but I won't say one way or the other whether or not they should. It's all about the fans and the reception and what they've done for the team. There's always a bunch of different expectations depending on the team that you are and what you cover and what you enjoy. So I like that there for Buffalo. Be a D-zone draw here for Buffalo. They lost to Cole Caufield off the spin. Now for Lane Hutson. What a drop Hutson shoots. And he was a sizzler there. Dahlin coughs it up as Caufield. Now Carrier sends this back him on the end boards. Good puck possession here Picked up on the backhand now. This is an opportunity. Recollected it behind the net. Tons of speed here for Suzuki. Is just throwing the high slot. And picked up finally by Buffalo. As they'll get this one. Tuck. He is patient now. Right side red line. There's a drop for Owen Power. He'll use that long range. He was the top pick a few seasons ago. A long chance for Tuck, who just scored. Lead to Power, high slot. His pass looking for the other defenseman, Rasmus Dahlin, the captaincy. And that one's turned over. Suzuki now looking to break out across the left wing. 8:40 left to go. It was a 4-on-4 since we come back in from break. That was what the call was. If you settle back down and crop in front, good save for Ellis as Slafkovsky set that play up. Owen Power will watch this one go up into the netting and out of play. And we'll do it again in the Buffalo zone.
Special 506 reunion auction for a chance to take home jerseys worn by alumni that were present for tonight's game and are still present. Many of them at the Sabres.com/auction today.
I got an idea that 50-50 is up to $68,652. Buy your ticket and win the 50-50 and then buy everything in the auction.
Another ozone draw here for the Montreal Canadiens. As they'll rim it in behind the end boards. Hutson now will stop it. Picked up in behind the end boards now for Slafkovsky. On his left hand. Good left pad save there for Ellis on the stand-up. It's Tage Thompson. On his back pass, T.S. Samuelson can walk right in. And that was canceled off with the left pad of Jacob Fowler. Here's his spin and turn. They settle back in their own end now for Buffalo. Jacob Bryson. And we'll get a piece of it again. Noah Ostlund out there off the rush. Ostlund rimming around the horn as Thompson got taken down. Now to Dahlin, keeping his head up. Here's an opportunity now for Ostlund, the crisscross. Tage Thompson slows up. What a move. Left side dot. Thompson still with it. He works him behind his net looking for a wraparound pass. And that one is wide. If he would have sent that in behind toward the left of the mesh and lifted it, I would have lost my mind. Probably could have. Bowen Byram, former member of the Colorado Avalanche. Throw this pass up off the turnaround, and McClellan content to send it in as Ryan McLeod have to check back up offside. Kind of reverse hit as Brandon Gallagher, longtime Montreal Canadian. Send this one in the left side red line. He's slowed down by Ellison behind the mesh, and Buffalo pushing ahead. Bowen Byram able to push that ahead, lifted pass right toward the net was a good idea. And Montreal able to steal. We'll have to settle it back down now. McLeod's going to have to spin back into his own end. And off that steal, you got Owen Power on that same line with Bowen Byram. This will go to Owen. Now to Bowen Byram. This little crisscross here. And alongside with Jacob Bryson, they mix in the defensive pairings for Lindy Ruff. And off the drop pass, Benson. Rimming in behind the end boards. Now to the left side dot, Montreal. Gets a stick, chop, and steal. Cole Hutson. Again, if I mix Cole and Lane a few more times, it'll be just that counter that you can continue going across the board. As Lane's still with it, pins it in off the glass. As this will be recollected, Zach Bolduc looking for Philip Dano. And flip back down. Lane, I guess they're going to say, got there first. And it will be an ozone draw coming for Montreal at the hybrid ice at 6:03 of the second. It's a 3-3 tie. Buffalo's got a 21-14 edge on the shot board, but a pair of goals in this third period keeps us the same way it was 2-2 after one. Alex Tuck from Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin at the latest after Thompson just being able to hold enough stick drag the left side down for a one-timer short side left out for Tuck. Suzuki power play from Hutson and Caufield. 4 power play goals out of 6 in this game to date. 5:45 left to go in the middle frame. Running with you on a solo call. And I don't see a hand in the air as players collide right near the bench. A little bit of some late cross checks for Buffalo they get away with. They got possession in the offensive end as Metza sends it in behind the end boards, looking for the far corner for Peyton Krebs. An opportunity now for Montreal. Texier will send this back in behind the end boards. This will be lost ball, and Byram will pick it up now with a long outstretched reach. do an excellent job, though. We'll get this out of the zone. Flip back around for Alex Tuck. Now Thompson. Try to use his powerful 6'6", 220 frame to get this back to Tuck and push it in behind the net. Benson able to provide a little bit of a forecheck and a partial steal as that got deflected off the blade and flipped back in. Buffalo offensive end. Able to steal here. Suzuki got speed. 2-on-1 developing. Suzuki cross pass. Slap shot goes wide to the right post and way wide at that. Buffalo now as Montreal getting caught up on a change. It's Tuck off the left. Samuelson is backhanded cross pass. And we get Montreal with the puck here. We'll see if there is a delayed penalty. As Texier, I don't think there is one. This will be sent back in on the end boards. Texier now give a chase. He gets a steal. Got to get around a couple of stick lifts now. As Buffalo content to flip it out of their zone. And Matheson. Hutson now. And Israel looking for an outstretched pass. It was a big hit by Buffalo. I don't know if that was Hutson that took a bit of it. All I heard was the reverberation around the end boards as it was knocked away from Jordan Greenway. He's back on the ice. Greenway now. First to get to it across the left side wing. Send it back in behind the horn. Back now on Stein. Try to throw it to D. Gets it to Greenway instead. It was loose in front of the slot. There's a turnaround opportunity here for Buffalo. Near the left dot. Good patience here for Owen Power. Sends it back in behind the end boards. Hits are only 16-13. Not overly physical. Juraj Slafkovsky. Cross ice speed shifts ends. Good one there. Slafkovsky now trying to get around Power. Holds him against the end boards, but Buffalo there to steal. Recollect now. Picked up here for the Sabres. Here's a drop for Bowen Byram. Byram waiting across the left side point now. Rasmus Dahlin. And off the outside of the cage. Dahlin still with it. Here's an opportunity. It was touched by Doan. Right in the middle of the slot. That one is knocked just wide by Jacob Fowler. Buffalo with good puck position as McLeod got his shot denied. And settled back down off the flip of the ice. Montreal steals. In for a moment. And now Buffalo. Good hit again. It's a 1-on-2. Good chance now for McLeod. He gets taken off the puck. We'll have to flip this one back down. We'll get his change for Lindy Ruff squad. And Montreal will flip ends on their own side on the left side boards. There's a battle across here for Bryson. Here's a spin and turn for Josh Anderson, longtime Canadian. Just kept in the left side point. This is fought off with the stick shaft of Ellis as it was shot up high. Now behind the net of Colton Ellis. Montreal throws it right at the goal line. That's sticked away by Buffalo. Good defensive attention to detail there. Now to the right side red line. Here's Rasmus Dahlin. Flip this back in behind. And settle back down for Jordan Greenway to take the long flip. Here is a long chance for Noah Offlin. Goes up and out of play. $1.53. We'll take one more break. We'll close out the second period in a moment. $1.53 left. We're tied at trace.
Okay, Richardson, the holidays are done. We thought so too, but then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
4 new iPhone 17s, all on them. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us, no trade-in needed, and 4 lines for just $25 a line. Oh, that's very cool. So there I was, scrolling eBay.
When I saw this,
Still in the box. It's like the exact same one my mom wore.
you could feel the luxury. So then, I'll go up and rare vintage color.
You should have seen their faces when I said,
Some people invest in stocks, but for me,
it's Marcella.
not in Dion. Good Friday! This whole time it was rented on eBay.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, the things people love. They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Sprite sale shoes, it's different. It's the lemon lime's favorite refreshing drink with zero sugar. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Okay, your thirst.
Fans of the Sabres.com/AAA, you can enter the Escape the Cold Vacation giveaways presented by AAA Travel for your chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic. Travel AAA, where can we take you today? Cold temperatures in this part of the world, and really a lot along the East Coast right here. Might be snow in Raleigh by the time you get there.
Nick Suzuki able to win a D-zone draw here for the Montreal Canadiens. 1:45 left to go in the second. A long outstretched pass. Get picked up and Noah Dobson have to switch the ice. Good outstretch again. This is Suzuki looking for a breakout pass. Buffalo able to steal. Benson in off the rush. There's a chance at the windmill and sent back around the inboards for Samuelson. Buffalo's got it near the right side point. Samuelson had to bounce up his skate, and now will belong to Montreal. And this pass will pinball for an icing, as Samuelson will get there with $1:15 left in the middle frame. Suzuki looking to break out with speed. Again, no surprise when you say that in between Cole Caufield, Nick Suzuki, Juraj, Slafkovsky, Demidov. In 46 games this season, 23 goals, 24 assists, 47 points. Tage Thompson can do everything. And again, at 6'6", 220, he'll still be able to stick handle and shoot the puck at over 100 miles an hour. That's a guy that I really would like to get out of Buffalo, but if you're a Sabres fan, you're going to be holding on him to the end of the time, I would imagine. He's just dynamic. Players aren't built like him. He's a power forward that can do a little bit of everything. Settle back down now for McLeod as Owen Power try to lead in off the rush, but Canadians have 3-2 as far as players back. Captain at the line now, Power from McLeod. Power has got it on the left side. He'll flip it up high and it'll play. 37.5 left to go.
Try to hang on to it, do a little too much for it, then they try to get over, and bang, it's coming back the other way. There's not much time in the ball.
So out of the 7 o'clock games, as we said, with the 05-06 team being honored at KeyBank Center, our game's going to end a little bit late as far as the early ones, but I'll be here with you all the way through. I don't think we can get a full story, but we will get a little bit of a recap with the broadcast. So usually post Opal Sports Guy, YouTube, all that other stuff as well. Carrier will watch this puck go down the ice. And a brace for it now is Colton Ellis. I'll play it in behind the inboards. And settle back down for Buffalo. Here's a chance that it gets picked up off the back pass. Excellent work for Carrier to flip that one down in the good defensive responsibilities. Pulling Byram off the stick lift. Try to get this here for Tia Samuelson, but Byram does the job. Here's a spin and turn. And we will end the second period as we did in the first, tied. It was 2-2 after the first 20. It's 3-3 after 40. It's 4 power play goals out of the 6. And I don't think next goal is going to win quite yet. Shotboard 22-15. Montreal has done a ton, but Colton Ellis hasn't played his greatest game. I don't think Fowler has either. But the specialty teams, they're on fire. We'll call the third period in a moment. Stay tuned. So let's give the team stats a look after 40 minutes. Shots on goal, 22-15 for the Sabres. And that is 10-8 Buffalo in the period. 17-15 hits for Montreal.
Four new iPhone 17s, all on them.
Yep, and 4 lines, all for just $25.
Hits 8-6 Montreal in the period.
Our best deals are still here. Come into Verizon and get 4 iPhone 17s.
And face-offs 26-15 for Montreal.
I completely appreciate their supportive, caring, and they explain my benefits and how to use them.
So there is no such thing as a stupid question. I really appreciate that. I have come to trust that, and I'm very satisfied with my
Face-offs 26-15, 12-5 for Montreal in that period.
And when you're talking about your health and wellness,
So really just Buffalo on the shots, the only thing that leads. Bryson Hold on Bolduc, slap shot from Lane in the middle of the slot is recollected by Suzuki, who's lifted past Ellis. That gave Montreal a 3-2 lead at the moment. Mallenstein denied coast to coast in the backhand. Thompson gets in the zone slowly, stick handles. Can't take the puck from him, and Tuck scores left dot short side. Jekka and Greenway starting to throw a little bit. Blake can't get the rebound. That's pretty much all I can tell you from the second frame. Not as much going on. And really, as we said from the first period, blocks were 11-1 Montreal. Blocks are 13-1. So only 2 blocks that period.
It offers people with moderate to severe eczema skin that's still more clear in 1 year.
don't use if you're allergic to Eblis. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening.
Power plays 2 for 3 for Montreal.
Before starting Eblis, tell your doctor if you have a
Buffalo still 2 for 2. So what do we say about scoring updates in terms of the Washington Capitals? If they get behind, they do not, especially if it's like 2 or 3 goals, not even a lot. They just don't come back. They don't play well from behind. They play well with a lead. Well, they had one. Dylan Strome on the power play in the second period is 11 from Alex Ovechkin and Jacob Chikrin. But Zach Ostachuk, Colin Graff, and Pavel Regenda, not the most prominent of goal scorers. Regenda with a couple of points. Macklin Celebrini has 1 assist. They're able to keep him off the score sheet as far as scoring goals. But Logan Thompson, 20 and 23. And Alex Nedeljkovic just 11 and 12. Just 12 shots through 17:32 of the third. I mean, come on now. San Jose Sharks have a 3-1 lead, but I'd like to see them in the playoffs, so it's not going to bother me. The Columbus Blue Jackets lead 3-1 as they're in the third period. Kirill Marchenko and assisted Zach Werenski. It was 3-0 Jackets before Brock Besser scored from Elias Pettersson and Z. William. Whereas Lakins 24 of 25. Lankinen 26 of 29. Kraken do get a goal to the good, but they're down 2-1. Victor Arvidsson had the second unanswered, 3:45 in the first. Quick goals from Zaka and Casey Middlestat. Chandler Stevenson on the power play, his 12th from McCann and Vince Dunn. Jeremy Swayman 10 of 11. Joy DeCord just 5 of 7. Rough night for him so far. Jets destroying the Wild right now. They are trying to win, I believe, their 5th in a row and improve to 19, 22, and 5. Jonathan Toews on the power play from Villiardi and Shifley. Tanner Pearson from Morgan Barron and Dylan DeMillo. And Josh Morrissey, his 9th from Mark Shifley and Toews again. Jesper Wallstead, 7 of 10. Connor Hellebuck has stopped all 11. He has faced. Flames have a 2-0 lead on the 2-1 lead on the Blackhawks. Nick Foligno opened the scoring, his second coming back from injury from Colton Dach and Landon Slaggert. But Igor Sharangovich on the power play from Backlund and Zeri. And then Backlund short-handed, his 12th. Spencer Knight 3 of 5. Devin Cooley 6 of 7. Good to see Cooley get that contract extension not that long ago. Stars and Mammoth about to get underway. Islanders Oilers just getting underway. Scoreless. Maple Leafs Golden Knights will be underway probably by the time we get into our third period of this game. Penguins still up 4-1 on the Flyers. Pistons working their way back into the game against the Suns, about to end the third. Pistons down by 3, 88-85.
My rookie year, the leaders of this team was good, but it was hard for me. I mean, it took me 15 games, I think, to score my first NHL goal. So there's a lot of outside noise, a lot of pressure. I was talking, maybe they're not ready. But I think, the guys really made me just a player game. But, and it was when you went through, sometimes I think I felt like a rookie in year 3, which maybe looking back, it was good. So it was, accountability was high, but yeah, probably a couple of years until I felt like I belonged.
Thomas, does it feel like you're always in those clutch moments? Because when I reference you in goal scoring history with the Sabres and being 5th, you're 4th in game winners as well. And it just felt like you always had that knack. And it's fitting we have a division rival there, because it always felt like the division rival, especially Boston, for you. You were just so huge in those games.
Well, I think it helped having great shooters like Palmer, and I was just in front of that, getting beat up, and hand-eye coordination took over, and I tip one in and whack it in, and there I was. I was always around the net. So again, I think the goal scoring sometimes it overshadows, but as the teammates and line mates like Palmer that I had, getting the puck there and finding my stick, and all I had to do is redirect it.
His goal scoring, to me, cracks me up because it was obviously unbelievable.
Yeah.
But his playmaking ability was,
Thank you.
Yes. It was easy to play with him. You knew where to be, and it would be on your tape within a second when you're open. So a very undercover passer.
Now we got a game. It's 3-3 right now, and we could go to a shootout. Upper loves the shootout. This or that. Who could or should, if I had one guy to pick, because you guys were both really good in shootouts, but who wants to take the shot? Like if I say Palmer, Vanek, you go ahead. Who wants to take the shot?
We both wanted, but I
Okay, you let it go. I was going to say,
we both want the shot.
What's the move, man? What's the move? What's around the world? Around the world. Yeah, nowadays, this kid's on their knees. It's even easier now. Or the slapper.
What would your move be?
5-hole.
Yeah, I like the 5-hole.
From the angle and the quick 5-hole.
Exactly. Change the speed, 5-hole.
But I also, you know what? They have so many goals and points.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had played against you two a lot longer, because you guys used to abuse me in practice, and maybe that was good. But I saw the 5-hole so many times, the high glove, the right-hand shot, high glove so many times. So you guys were both great and deserved the honor.
05-06, which was the first year for the shootout, you guys were good. Team was 5-5. Was the next year when you won 10 times. Were you not, like, if outside of the two of you, who would you pick as the best shootout player that you played with the Sabres?
Boy, I have an answer for me.
Well, Danny B was pretty good.
That's not my answer. It's Alex.
Yeah.
The backhand, like that curve was so rounded. How you got to the backhand was great. Yeah. Al was a big between Al and Royce, but Al is, because Al was such a big shooter one time, I think he surprised goalies with that. Like I said, a quick backhand with that toe, and score, but he could move it over and just put it on the bar quickly. I mean, the thing that we could go Danny, Al, Van, Palmer, and you keep on going first year.
Max went 3 for 5, and that's 2 game deciders.
So Henrik the leader and shootouts, like he had the moves, like it was fun. As a goalie, I kept giving up goals, but I wanted to see them go that time.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations again. This is going to be quite a night next year, 26, 27. I mean, you guys are going to the Sabres Hall of Fame.
Let's give you another update. This one is getting ugly in the Battle of Steel City. Penguins have a 6-1 lead now on the Flyers. Sidney Crosby, Connor Dewar with the unanswered in the third. Noah Chari had another one before the end of the second. Stuart Skinner, 24-25, had a good night. Alexei Kolosov now in, giving up 3. Samuel Ayerson gave up 3. So Rick Tocchet grasping at straws in goal right now. They have lost now 5 in a row. Because if this is going to hold, they lost to this Maple Leafs 2-1. Then they had a tough back-to-back. It was a home and home. They had 2 straight home games against the Lightning, lost both of those 7-2, 5-1, and then got blown up by the Sabres 5-2, and now they're getting blown up by the Penguins. So they've got to get back on track. But it doesn't look like they're going to do it today.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
What if my flaky red flag psoriasis takes center stage? Next up, you don't get it.
what did Ned do he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats cavity psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. You live in the moment, struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla. Here's to the go-getters, whether they're in the gym or anywhere else. 30 grams of protein.
Or cheers to dealers. GMC. We are professional grade. Your Western New York Buick dealers. Check out their all-new lineup of Buick SUVs. And by Cadillac. Visit your Western New York Cadillac dealer today and experience the ultimate in iconic luxury.
We just continue this 05-06 theme. It's a 3-3 game with Megan and Marty and Brian. And the biggest difference between now and 05-06 was back then in the New World NHL. There were teams getting on average 6 power plays a game. Well, the efficiency for tonight's power plays has been incredible. Both sides have 2 power play goals so far. Is that the big story? Like, stay clear of the penalty box?
It is, because in the third period 3-3 game, both teams like Thompson, obviously, Rasmussen, and Caufield and Hutson, they can make some damage on the power play, so stay off the penalty box would be great.
Definitely discipline, and I also want to say block shots.
Yeah.
12-1 to Montreal, so I would look at that as something to look out for. And really,
only one block shot.
One block shot.
It's like, yeah, get a lot more shots.
Right, especially on the penalty kill. And so, you know, the Sabres are getting 3 power plays a game now compared to 6 back then. And it was Montreal on the power play that opened the scoring team the second, as Suzuki from Hutson and Caufield put Montreal in the lead.
Man, we talked about Lane Hutson shooting more this year. That's not from the top. He shoots, and Suzuki on the back door gets the rebound.
And Lane Hutson, second player in the NHL ever to get to 100 points at his age.
Wow, it's unbelievable. And we'll dive in a little deeper on what he's done against the Sabres. Tucked had great response from Thompson.
I love how Thompson controls the base of the plate so lengthy in the middle of the ice. He slows everybody down, opens it up for Tuck.
And he has to respect the shot. That's why Tuck had kind of a nice open net there.
So Thompson's got 2 assists, and you look at a goal, of course, in this 3-3 game. New York Lottery inside the numbers. Presented by the New York Lottery. Be ready when one strikes on the Hutson storyline, Marty, because I know you were interested in this earlier. Lane is now up to 11 points in 6 games against Buffalo. So that makes him the highest points per game producer ever against Buffalo. Minimum 6 games played as he surges past Mario Lemieux with 1.83 now points per game against Buffalo. And the Sabres have yet to beat Lane Hutson. That's the big story.
That's the big story, obviously. And in the pregame, I completely botched the nice graphic you guys had. The Sabres given up 43% or so of their goals in the third period, which is a lot, and they have to be much better defensively in that third period. You can't go out and think you're going to maybe give up 1 or 2 and still win that game. It has to be squeaky weakly defensively.
There's a lot of goals in this game, but the last 7 of 9, the Sabres have had 4+ goal games. And the last 7 of 11, Montreal has had 4+ goal games. So good tries.
So, like, we like to joke all the time that you need to score to have success in today's NHL. Do you gravitate more to that way of thinking too?
Defensive structure is important in this type of game too. So in the first period, we won by 2 eliminates those on-man rushes, those 2-on-1s that we saw some goals scored earlier.
And the Sabres obviously did not have Jason Zucker for the major part of the second period after that collision with Juraj. The lines are a little bit different because you got to manage 11 forwards and finish it around. I think that now that you've got a chance to sit in the locker room and kind of lay out a plan, like this is how we're going to attack the third period. I think, obviously, you want Zucker there, but having a chance to sit back, maybe, and help the Sabres formulate a plan.
Field possession numbers are pretty close. Buffalo with a slight edge again as far as power play time in this game. The Sabres are 2 for 2, cashing in about 90 seconds worth of odd-man situation.
Zucker is on the ice.
Well, that's a huge return for Buffalo based on, Zucker recently having both an upper and lower body injury and coming back. And Montreal 2 for 3 on their power play so far. So give us one more thought on what's to come.
Mattias Samuelsson leads all shooters with 4 shots on goal. I think Samuelsson gets a goal in the third.
And you can't block every shot, so the Buffalo Sabres have to keep shooting in the third period.
This is the second game of 4 head-to-head meetings this year, and the next 2 come up in short order before January turns to February. We'll see you next on the Lexus post-game report. Here's Dan and Razor with the third.
Yeah, they're as big as they can get these periods like this against a division rival, tied at 3 through 2. And this game really is up for grabs. I know special teams Ronald played a big part here, but 5-5 without looking at too many numbers on this end is just the eye test between these two teams. It's anybody's game right now.
Yeah, I would imagine a message for both coaches and the dressing room to stay out of the coming months. Obviously, both power plays are doing a good job here in this one. Yeah, but I don't think you're going to see the game sort of sit back and just kind of play defensively. I think both teams.
So we're going to get set for the third and final period of regulation here. We're tied at 3. There has been 5 power play opportunities. 4 of them have been converted between both sides. It's part of the reason why this game's tied at trace. Again, we had a 10-1 block shot advantage for Montreal after 1. It's now 12-1 after 2. But it really is, and they come down to it. I think it was a pretty good pregame in terms of everything else that they kind of outlined in this third period of what to look for. I mean, if you're Buffalo, continue to get more shots in the net. Obviously, Montreal can't block everything. I agree with that. But I really do believe that Montreal's got to find a way. Yes, they scored 3 goals and 15 shots, and Colton Ellis hasn't been great. Got to get that shot board closer to 30 by the end of this period. If they could do so, probably take 2 points. That would be my guess. There's a big slap shot blocked by Buffalo. They're just their second of the game. As we settle back down, now turn around for Texier. They'll be in the glove hand. And Rasmus Dahlin hit him right in the knee from that initial slap shot. He's going to go right to the dressing room here, I'm thinking, if he's not going to take a seat on the bench. Because that was a walk-in clap for Texier. And that really went knee on the back skate, too. Rasmus Dahlin, yeah, he is. He's going to the room. So captaincy's out now for the Buffalo Sabres. That's a huge boom for the Montreal Canadiens at that. I think the worst situation as a diehard Red Wings fan for me would be this game to go to OT, have both teams pick up a point. But we could get there too, just depending on the defensive identity. Philip Danault, I think, is going to go take a seat in the bench. He got slashed by Owen Power. A little bit of a hit and a little undercut. And we'll see what we get. 22-16 on the shot board. But I think Philip Danault is going to go get the gate for 2. Yes, he is. As he got a hook in on the legs and a little bit of a sweep of Jack Quinn. Can't do that. Buffalo Sabres already scored on both of their power plays. Can they go 3 for 3? Because that's already going to be the story of the game no matter what. I wonder what Marty Saint-Louis is going to say to his squad. I mean, it's easier said than done to take Tage Thompson off the puck. Noah Ostlund's been good too. Starts with a D-zone draw win, and that is exactly what Montreal needed. And they'll flip this down the ice to Colton Ellis. Don't really know who to root for in this game. I'm just enjoying it right now. This is picked up right up the gut. Here's a spin around now. Going to drop for Darlene. He went right to the room. He's already back out there for the power play. Tage Thompson, cross ice. Darlene's got it. Darlene, high slot. Ostlund bomb. That one will be held by Fowler near the right of the mesh.
Top there, and then he drops down, just kind of giving him an out, and the goal's trying to keep him underneath. But neither guy able to get themselves really established in front. So it drops off there because he thinks maybe that pass could come down to him there. So we just kind of pulled out there with an outlet pass.
Sabres with the draw. Darlene crowded there by
Darlene got crowded at the line. He's going to go back. He's still being bothered right now. That was a good forecheck for Montreal. Always be able to kill some time. They're going to try to go 3 for 3 on the power plays in the rough squad. It's a 3-3 game right now. 2 for 2 for 2 shots. Tage can't take him off the puck as he jams it in behind the end boards. Slowed down Darlene. Back to Tage. 6'6", 220. Don't get tired of saying that. Tage out of the captaincy. Long shot into the glove hand. Catch with the trapper. There's Jacob Fowler. 55 seconds left. Shot forward 24-16. Now, for Montreal to score 3 goals on such few shots, that's because you got guys like Demidov, Caufield, Suzuki, Hutson. I get it, but you still want to have something more. Nick Suzuki, one of the youngest captaincies in all of the NHL. We'll send this back in behind the end boards. Flip it down the ice to Colton Ellis. 45 seconds left to go in the third power play for the Buffalo Sabres. You got those old throwback jerseys with the Buffalo heads from 05-06. Samuelson throw this one up the ice. Sent back in behind the end boards. Picked up now for Doan. Doan set up the slap pass. A little too far for Ostlund, but he'll recollect, rifle a feed out in front, but the Canadiens will flip this one down the ice. And it looks like Buffalo is going to run out of time in their third power play. They're in the middle of a change nonetheless. Colton Ellis almost turned it over behind his own end as he's waiting for Buffalo to get their line changes done. They'll start again from left to right. They're in the black jerseys with the yellow and red striping. And the Montreal Canadiens in the road whites with the red shoulder pads and yellow pant legs. Sent back here for Zach Benson. Gets the steal. Benson will spin, ripping around the end boards now. 3 minutes have expired from this third period. Joining it with you from this 3-3 game between Buffalo and Montreal. 2 young, studly teams in the Atlantic trying to get playoff spots. Let me settle back down. Noah Dobson will slow it down. And Dobson now for Lane. Crisscross. Youngest defenseman to 100 points. I don't know if in NHL history, but at least in Montreal history. Is Dobson's pass. Pushes one out for Slafkovsky across the left wing. Now in the middle of the slot, Slafkovsky shoots. That one goes wide. Good hit there, reversed for Mallenstein. And Buffalo now, as you got Suzuki on the back skate, just intentionally widening off the end boards. Buffalo collecting up the back skate for Samuelson. Get flipped back in. Let's go Buffalo chants going on in the KeyBank Center. You got to be excited because you kind of wonder what the attendance would be about 3.5 weeks ago before this run. Slafkovsky now back in the point. Caufield. It's Jack-Eye. Jack-Eye now. Here's the ripper off the pass that's left across. And this one will get chipped out of the zone. Mallenstein and Jack-Eye come together. And they're holding each other, but play is still alive right now. Back in behind Buffalo's end. Josh Doan is breaking out across the left side. That pass too far for him. And Montreal recollect. Got to be quick there was Cole Hutson. Got it out of the zone as it settled back down. And I will get it right. I'm mixing Lane and Cole about 10 times already. I apologize. This is settled back in behind the end boards now for Buffalo. Chip in off the glass. And this will be recollected here. Carrier tied up with Doan. And this will be settled back down. I'm glad I said Josh Doan and not Shane. I haven't done that yet. This will be settled back down the left side dot. Looking for a pass up the gut. A little bit too far there for Buffalo. Have to get a pick, but Austin gets thefted. A little too far for Zachary Bolduc. Now Benson. Josh Doan off the drop. And just stay onside is Peyton Krebs. Here's alive for Doan. Cross pass scores! A Tage! A bullet! Loose out in front. Krebs able to get the steal, and it goes from Doan to Tage, and it's a 4-3 Buffalo lead.
Doan's able to pick that one up. See him stepping right in there, and he's going to find James Thompson and just a quick shot far side. Sabres 4-3 here, 14:45 left in the third.
Crowd's getting real loud now. Tage Thompson with the go-ahead goal. Buffalo leads 4-3 on Montreal. This will be settled back down and off the spin and turn. Now this, if the result holds, will be big because the Detroit Red Wings can stay in the second seed of the Atlantic. If Montreal takes full 2 points today, they'll be the third seed. They'd be the home team. It'd be a 2-3 matchup between Montreal and Detroit. Wouldn't say no to that, but you think Montreal would have the advantage there, although Detroit did beat them 4-0 on the road. Backup shot stopped by Ellis with the glove hand of McLeod. He's got it now. McLeod finds the entry. He's still got it. Back in behind the end boards. And off the lead as this one's taken away. Too far for Greenway. Good stick chop there. It'll be pushed ahead. It'll be Carrier. Go ahead and take his change here from Marty San Luis squad. Tage Thompson is 24th from Dome. Settle back down now for Lindy Ruff squad. Intentionally and off the backboards, Tage Thompson's got a couple McLeod roaming around the right side inboards. Good reverse hit. Picked up now for Montreal. And between the dots. Joe Veleno now. Find the entry. Off the drop for Sammy Blais. Going to get gloved out of the air. This will be settled back down. There's opportunity for Gallagher. Drives the net. It's loose. It's available in front of Ellis. And Sabres can't find it. High slot. Another wrister as Ellis tries to be covered. And this will be flipped back down the ice beautifully because it's not far enough for icing. Arbor Jackeye has it now. Gallagher wants to go, I think, with Greenway. And we will get a whistle that blows it dead at 12:52 as play just stops. I don't think they're going to let anybody go. Gallagher's got the bolt-head spot that I do at this point, but a lot more hair. 12:52 left to go in the third. I think we're going to sort out some penalties when we come back. Tage Thompson with the second of the game. Buffalo's got the lead.
With investing options from Navy Federal Credit Union, Rob feels financially at ease, which means he can worry about other things like landing this fish. What if the fish is really big? What if it's not a fish? What if it's treasure? What if the treasure is cursed? Rob has a lot of things to worry about, but as a member of Navy Federal, his finances aren't one of them. Become a member today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Vivid Seats and lowest price guarantee. We can get lower ticket prices in the Vivid Seats app. Guarantee. But Vivid Seats cannot guarantee that you'll crash and tailgate and walk away without a concussion. Or your chest pains will survive certain tests. Or your favorite catch a ball on. Actually, keep it. And Vivid Seats definitely cannot guarantee that you'll have your bills the next day. But we can guarantee low ticket prices. Only in the Vivid Seats app. Download now.
We show her pizza every day.
Before you watch the biggest games, make sure you've got our biggest pizza in the game. The Big New Yorker for $10. That's how you pizza before the hype.
It looked like there would be just one penalty in the night, but what's wrong? Maybe
They've changed this here. They usually just call it right away, and now they've added Gallagher to the phrase, so it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. Both guys getting 2 minutes.
So Gallagher and Greenway both going to get the hook. They were scrapping up a little bit as Greenway got to clear down. Gallagher takes down Greenway, and Greenway didn't like being undercut. Gives him a punch toward the face, takes his helmet off. Gallagher able to bite right back as well. But man, that's a cross check toward the face and a takedown. I can understand why Jordan Greenway didn't like that from Gallagher. They were really getting physical with each other. But I think that's the right play. The refs take both. And it's another 4-on-4 set. Second time Gallagher slams the bench door. He wasn't very happy. But I think really he got the best of Greenway there, and Greenway responded the way that he should. So I don't really hate it on either end. It's just been fun to call this game right now. Tage Thompson has given the Sabres a 4-3 lead. Josh Jones got another point. They're going to do some ice surfacing here behind the bench around the snow.
Just hanging in there trying to draw something. Takes off outside the Montreal line. Sabres with possession.
So Sabres win possession of the neutral zone, draw into the left side blue line, cross ice pass. Here's Tuck. Tuck find the entry, walking right in to shoot again. It was Buffalo. Montreal kind of leaves it to be red carpet here for the Buffalo Sabres. Again, they're going to meet 2 more times after this and get 3 straight meetings in the month of January. The season series will be done in the Atlantic. So there'll be a lot to say, but if I am Marty St. Louis, there's too many cuts in the middle of the slot here for the Buffalo Sabres in this game. Not enough work for them. Here's an opportunity now as this is wrapped in behind the inboards, and there's Caufield and Suzuki. Now to Lane. Hutson. High slot. Try to give this one back across as it's picked up for Suzuki for a moment. You got Hutson and Carrier back. And Buffalo will take possession of this, and they're going on the 4-on-4 and take their time. They can do so. They got the lead. We're almost halfway through the third period. It's been a well-played game, and Buffalo's attack looks quite good from what we can tell. This is just them back in behind the inboards. Now, normally, Buffalo, with all the wins that they've had of late, have been able to kind of close it down defensively. But Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen played the other day, and you got Colton Ellis. And between Ellis and Fowler, as I've said, I haven't seen much between either goaltenders to tell you whether or not they're ready yet. They've just been kind of bludgeoned on the power play. Ozone draw for the Sabres. They're recollecting on the left side red line, and a penalty will be called against Montreal. A trip will be the recipient, and it's going to be Tage Thompson drawing it. Again, you can't take him off the puck, and Oliver Kapanen going to sit in the box as he gets a trip near the right side red line. So Buffalo didn't score on their latest in the third period, but even if they don't, they'll be 2 for 4. And again, he was just making a move, fake to his backhand, work to his forehand, and as that happened, Kapanen got a piece of the left skate and knocked him down. So 4-on-3 for 30 seconds before the Buffalo power play then goes from 5-on-4. So with the extra space now, I know it's only 30 seconds, but you get to bring Ostlund back out there with Tuck and Thompson. They've been absolutely deadly. And you would think if they win this draw, they could absolutely capitalize in 30 seconds because Tage Thompson shoots it. It's no exaggeration, well over 100 miles an hour. Rasmus Dahlin was injured only for a moment in the third period after getting bunched up near the left side glass in his own end, but he came back out for the immediate power play. He was only injured for about 2.5 minutes. This will be a D-zone draw win for Montreal, but it's contested. Picked up in behind the end boards. Noah Ostlund try to get it out. He will. This will be settled back down. It was knocked away from him by Montreal. And now Rasmus Dahlin settled the back pass again. It's been the same entry on the power play. There's no Oslin. Back to Rasmus. Here's a, oh my God, what a bomb by Tage Thompson at the top of the right crossbar at 96. That rifled the shot. This one goes up and out of play. I thought that was about 100. It looked like a blink. Tage Thompson at the top of the right crossbar. And I don't know how you can even see it if you're an opponent on the other end. He walks right into it, and it goes top bar down of the top left of the bar. I mean, if that could have trickled down and in, that was impossible for Fowler to stop. He got saved by the best friend. 10:46. Doan, and on the tie-up now, he will win the puck for a moment, as this is picked up by, I think, Zucker behind the net. This will be settled back down. Oslin wants it. It's Tage Thompson now. Left side dot. Thompson patient. High slot now. Rasmus Dahlin. As this goes to Jason Zucker. Now Rasmus. Tage. Left side dot. Leave it now for Noah Oslin. Cross pass. One timer. Just missed the net. This will be recollected now. That was Rasmus Dahlin that let it go. Now for Tage Thompson. Good power play here for Buffalo. They're working their way in the high slot, collapsing one-timer. And that one, Jason Zucker, goes just wide. Oslin lets to go. Slap pass for Doan. One more feed for Doan. Oslin, 28 seconds left. Is it Zucker? Not a Noah Oslin right dot. Rasmus Dahlin, Thompson fans. Picks it back up, though. Thompson, no look pass. Middle of the circles, Noah Oslin, he lets it go. Back for a slap pass. Tage Thompson left dot, far circle. Tage surveys. Zucker, Tage Thompson. One timer for Oslin gets fanned on, and that will end the power play. Cole Nellis turns it over. Backhand makes the save. He was way out of the goal crease. It's still loose. And Montreal, he was well out of the dots. Here's a chance near side. Caufield gets robbed by Ellis. He finds a way back to his feet. Suzuki clapper blocked by Buffalo. Zucker, heroic play. But man, oh man, Colton Ellis, he had his life before his eyes. He turned it right over in the middle of the circles, and somehow Montreal doesn't score. Here's Texier. He was picked up from the St. Louis Blues. This is his 26th game now with Montreal. He got that 2-year, $5 million deal. Lane Hutson now. Be a good soft pass from Dobson. Sent toward the net. Backhand just wide of the right post. Ellis trying to swim back into the goal crease. It was his undoing here that's created all the pressure. Montreal, this gets chopped out of the zone and flipped back down. It will be iced at 8:12. Not sure what Colton Ellis was doing, but he didn't pay for it. Caden Gooley. Now Arbor Jackeye goes back to Caden. Here's a chance. This one rifles, hits the glass. Jackeye now trying to press to get a steal, but this goes to Demidov. Haven't called his name too many times other than that power play goal. As Demidov now will circle him behind the net. He actually got a piece of somebody. I can't believe that wasn't called. Looked like he got a little bit of a slew foot, as this will be rolled back down, not far enough for icing. 7:20 left to go, but Buffalo's already had several power plays, so I'm guessing the Zebras don't want to give them another, even though they're at KeyBank. This one Blackman behind the end boards. Buffalo trying to get it out of their own end. trying to hold on to a Tage Thompson go-ahead goal in this period from Josh Doan. 7 minutes left to go in the game should this hold. Shot board 26-21. I think Montreal got about 5 shots from that Colton Ellis giveaway a couple minutes ago. He tried to leave toward the left side of the dot, and he couldn't lift the puck out and almost conceded one. Tuck spins it back around now, as this is Zach Benson back in behind the net. High slot now, Bowen Byram, as he will take a back pass. This is intercepted by Montreal. 2-on-1. Hutson with it. Hutson couldn't get it to Gallagher. Finds it in between his skates, and a good back check for Tage. Able to get a piece of it. Slowly put him behind the end board. Zebra's got to get out of the way. And Montreal's going to steal here. It'll dispossess. Here is Suzuki. Flips it across. Wrister at the net. Ellis says no with the far post. Picked up now for Buffalo. Stick shock reach. Here's an opportunity for Buffalo. Josh Doan on the back pass, if they can get it there. Malenstein lost it. And this will be recollected across center ice. Matthias Samuelsson will throw it back in behind the end boards. 5:45 left to go in the third. Got a good game on our hands here. This is a sent back around for Noah Dobson, Elaine Hutson, Cole Caufield. Try to turn on the burners from right to left. Suzuki back for Caufield. Caufield off the drop. He was running into pressure into his face with 5:25 left to go in the third. And this will be flipped back down. Seeing Genji in here, I'm going to try to get him in quickly. As 5:15 is left to go in the third. Juraj Slafkovsky. We'll settle this back in behind the end boards. Malenstein help to get it out for Buffalo. Here's a spin insert and a lead for Zach Bolduc for the moment. But now Buffalo's got it in their own end. Turn around on the backhand there. This is Jordan Greenway. Got tied up to Zucker, Oliver Kapanen. We'll take this one from right to left from his own end. Here is Slafkovsky one more time. Slafkovsky now getting things going in his own end. Now across the left side red line. Slafkovsky off the drop, gets stick lifted. Buffalo gets the steal. A couple players come together near the players' benches. And now settle back down as Jacky can have this one go up and out of play. I think we'll take a break. 4:33 left to go in the third. Tage Thompson with the latest go ahead. It's 4-3 Buffalo.
Hey there, John. I'm sorry I missed the whole thing. I didn't know you were covering anything tonight.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to really lay out the schedule this week because things were kind of up in the air, but I will do so next week. It's just good to hear your voice.
Absolutely, sir. So, Buffalo.
I am, I'll say, shocked as much as you are because Kevin Adams was let go in the midst of Buffalo being in a 2-game win streak. You bring in Jarmo Kekalainen. It's still Kevin Adams' team, but Ian, I have to think that they decided to make the change of direction, and it kind of lit a fire under everybody in Buffalo. That's the way I look at it right now, because when I look at what's left for them coming into this game, I will mark this in the first period notes, I believe. They're 14-2 are the Sabres in their last 16 games. It's been a run where they haven't had to make a lot of trades, and they're surging their way up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty. It's pretty. You know what it is? It's refreshing. We finally have a new team in the East doing very well outside of the usual suspects.
Yeah. The question now, and I know we're in the middle of January, we still got a long way to go. The Olympic break will settle things down in February, Ian, but do you really think Buffalo can find their way to get back into the postseason? Because watching this game right now, Montreal is a very good team. Both of these young teams are going back and forth, but I think Buffalo looks really good. in this one in the Open, again, I was able to cover a little bit on Monday for Sergei Fedorov's retirement for the Red Wings when they survived 4-3 against the Carolina Hurricanes, but they honored the 05-06 team today, and now trying to get Thomas Vanek, Jason Pominville, and the like, Ryan Miller, an extra 2 points for the Sabres.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, after that 10-game win streak, they needed to keep winning consistently for me to believe. And you know what? They did that.
Yeah.
And they're continuing to do that. So, to answer your question, yeah, I think they can get back into the postseason.
And if this is a matchup that you want to look forward to and watch more, these teams are going to meet 2 more times before the end of the month. They play 3 times in January, and this is the first meeting there. As this is sent back around, Montreal won the very first meeting in early October 4-2, and now Buffalo is trying to return the favor. Now, as a diehard Red Wings fan, it would be better to watch these teams, one of them win in regulation more so than the other, rather than going to OT. But Montreal's still got plenty of time at that. If Montreal takes a full 2 points, they will move to the second seed while the Red Wings drop to third. This is Matheson on his back skate as this bounces up in the air in front of Mallenstein. And now Texier will send this in behind the end boards. He gets the puck for a moment as this is recollected in off the referee. Matheson slow it in at the line. This goes back to Mike. He slows up. Excellent move to get around a couple of Sabres. He's got to buy some space, throws it at the net. Buffalo closes it down. And now this will be an opportunity for Tuck to pick up the puck for a moment. And now toward the left side blue line play the Karam. The Marty St. Louis squad got to start again. Juraj Slafkovsky looks like he's getting off the ice. And we have 2:50 left to go in the third. They're going to have to take Jacob Fowler out of the net very quickly. Here comes Lane Hutson off the spin and turn. Montreal trying to press. They need a goal here. Otherwise, they're going to drop 2 points. Joe Veleno on the fourth line, former Red Wing. Start this one from right to left in their own end with 2:30 left to go. Joe Veleno now. Sent toward the net. Back pass gets stick lifted. Otherwise, it would have been 4-4 past Golden Ellis. And then we'll settle it down for Hutson. Just so flip ice to Noah Dobson. I haven't called Dobson's name a lot. I've called Hudson's name quite a bit. Zach Bolduc, third line. Send this one in for Marty St. Louis squad. And we'll get a whistle at 2:07. Shot board 26-22. Doesn't look like any penalties, but an offside. 2:07 left. We'll finish it off when we come back.
So really, you can point to more than a few teams that have gone right for the Sabres. But the biggest one is the obvious one. Tage Thompson has gone back to looking like an MVP candidate.
Stud. He's an absolute stud.
That far.
Yep. And I'm also looking at someone of a young name. Again, you have the youngest team taking on the second youngest team in the Buffalo Sabres. But Josh Doan already looks pretty good in a Buffalo Sabres uniform. You know that name from Shane Doan. Again, they have a good defensive unit. I know we talked about Owen Power needing to get more points, but you got Rasmus Dahlin, Tuck. I think from the way that this has gone on, and you made a good point about the Sabres and their winning streak, Alex Tuck is one of those guys that they would need to sign. I think he's going to stay.
I agree. And that Josh Norris trade isn't looking horrible.
No.
Well, but it's like you were saying at the beginning of the season. When he's on the ice, he is a top quality defenseman.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that you get him back healthy. He was going to go tonight. They elected to pull him back. We'll get some of your thoughts here, Ian, before this game ends. I just want to go to the scoreboard. Winnipeg trying to win 4 in a row and get themselves back into the playoff chase. I know the Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild are still okay in the standings, but they need to pick up some wins. They've been losing a lot of games late. The Wild are down 6-1 at home after 2.
Yeah. The Wild are the Wild. I don't really have a better thought than that because it's what they do. They'll go on these runs and they'll cool off, and then they'll look like a championship contending team, and then they'll go pumpkin.
Can't do that right now, especially with the trade that you made. This is picked up now at the inboards for Tuck. The net is empty, and Buffalo looks like they're going to finish it. Bullseye! Tage Thompson hat trick!
MVP, the caliber player. Yes, I am saying it because we need to consider Tage Thompson for that. The man has 25 goals in, let me look at their record and do the math.
They're going to be 26, 16, and 4, and they're going to pick up a full 2 points.
Yeah, in 45 games, in 46 games played now, Tage Thompson has 25 goals. That he should be considered for MVP with those numbers right now.
I don't want to say this too lightly. I mentioned a couple times in the broadcast before you joined, Ian, but he's 6'6", 220, and he's got stick handling speed. I mean, not a ton of speed, but he's a power forward type. He's got skating speed. You talk about his 25th goal, but he looks like Bane, for Christ's sake.
Wait. Are you talking about the Batman character?
Yes. Tage Thompson is huge.
He looks like Bane. Bane with skating skills and stick handling skills. That's
And he's got a 100-mile-an-hour shot, which we know about. So
I would be scared. I wouldn't want Bane ice skating.
That's what I mean, because I'm not trying to say it lightly, but you look at his contract, right? Isn't he only making like $7.25 million for a player of his caliber? I mean, that's awfully low.
I think so, yeah. The Sabres, we know the history of the Sabres.
Right.
They are the New York Jets of the NHL. No matter what they do, they can't get it right. Until now, it appears now. Again, we're a long ways off from it. 45 games played. We're past the halfway mark of the season.
Right.
We haven't hit the trade deadline, so we'll see what they do. Maybe if they continue this pace, they won't buy, they won't trade for anybody, and they'll just go with what they have, and they'll wait for the offseason. Because, good Lord, if you're the youngest team in the league, surely they have cap space to burn.
Right.
I know they got a lot of their guys on extensions, but I'm sure all the old contracts are gone.
Let me look at this very quickly while I have you on before this game ends, because I want to talk about that with you. Because I'm looking at Buffalo Sabres right now. They have $1.5 million in cap space, and I'm looking at what's left for the year. They have a lot of guys, as you said, that are young. Really, it's the Rasmus Dahlin, $11 million, Owen Power, $8.35. And whether or not they want to move on from Bowen Byram in a couple of years. But it's those guys on defense that are already signed. But I do agree with you. They should eventually, as the cap goes up for the next couple of years, get another $6-7 million per year that they could play with. And I would say soft buy at that. Because Alex Tuck, as I mentioned with him, he's an unrestricted free agent. It's 4.75. I would think he gets a little bit more than that, obviously, but Alex Tuck would also be one of those attractive trade pieces if they try to do so. But why would you trade anything for a team that's doing this?
This is. Do you frequent the Pistons? Is that one your team? games. Like,
Yes.
do you watch NBA? Do you remember around 2019, I think it was, a Brooklyn Nets team with D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen? It was just a team of Misfits and D'Angelo Russell, but they were winning, and they won a lot.
Yeah.
That was basketball's Buffalo Sabres team this year. You don't do anything to upset that flow.
I agree with you, Ian. There isn't much to do. They tried to get Tage Thompson as fourth on an empty netter again, but that shot got blocked. Buffalo wins 5-3. They improved their standing in the top part of the wild card. And as Ian just laid out to you, as far as the games that are played, we'll reset that one more time. 46 games played, so they still have a game in hand of the Montreal Canadiens and a couple on the Red Wings. Now, from where their points are, they won't catch up to them. However, if they continue to put these 2 points in, they might find themselves firmly cemented in WC1 as it goes along, or maybe sniffing top 3 in the Atlantic. The Atlantic has been outrageous lately, but Buffalo's look good. This was fun to cover tonight.
Yeah. Well, in turn, I could definitely see them creeping into the top 3 of the Atlantic, especially because, I mean, if we take a look at the Atlantic, no offense to your team, you guys are doing very well, but even you said it. The Red Wings are inconsistent at best.
When it comes to March and April. Mm-hmm.
At their worst, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have that happen again, but you're right. I mean, we could talk about a scenario, as you just said, where Buffalo and Detroit make it. But if Detroit has a typical March and April that they do, they won't. And the game that I covered on Monday, I guess it was Fedorov retirement night, they won, but you were also on the same game with me before. They gave up 3 goals in the third unanswered, had to go to OT. And that goal that Andrew Kopp scored was a push-off against Shane Gostisbehere. They gave up 3 unanswered goals. They did win, but they do that a lot.
Yeah, so that's the thing about that. If this win, Buffalo is further cementing themselves as one of the teams to beat. I mean, right now, I think Buffalo fans are wishing they were in the Metropolitan Division, because you want to talk about a division more uncertain in the Atlantic.
Oh, yeah. That is topsy-turvy right now, and nobody can seem to get points when they really need it. You're absolutely right. They'd be dominating the Metro.
Yeah. So let's see now. So you got the Bruins right behind you. Pittsburgh, the Washington Capitals actually just got pushed out by the Penguins.
Yeah.
With the Penguins routing the Philadelphia Flyers, who were looking like a contender early on. The Maple Leafs have climbed up from the doldrums of the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
The Rangers and a few other teams are truly trying. The only team that's been consistently in the lead for their division for most of the year has been the Carolina Hurricanes, because it's Tampa Bay, Detroit, Montreal, and a forever shifting on the standings.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes just seem to be the ones that win enough, and either that or the Islanders don't know what the heck they're doing. No. Yeah, I mean, it's the Hurricanes are the most consistent team in the East. Tampa Bay caught fire, but actually, yeah, they've really caught fire.
Yeah, they've won 11 in a row.
Good Lord.
So when you look at, I agree with all your points. I just want to bring this for anyone that has an ominous feeling. The 2022 Stanley Cup Final was what? It was the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. So.
Okay, I'll say this. If the Avalanche don't pull it out this season,
Yeah, because the only thing that's left, Ian, you're right. The only thing that's left for them, they're the only team that's waiting for the Stanley Cup playoffs to start.
Yeah, I mean, I truly don't see them with the way currently there's no way that they could lose the division because that would their entire first line and probably second line would have to get injured for that to happen. And I just don't. First of all, don't want that to happen. Second of all, I don't see it happening.
Nope.
But number two, right now, separating them from the first wild card spot is a total of 23 points.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they could not. They could, even if they tried to lose that many games, they wouldn't be able to lose that many games.
No, they're going to get in no matter what. And the thing is, if you're Dallas and Minnesota, as you said, Minnesota, they'll have 3 games in hand on them after today. And I think Dallas is also in action. Let me just double check really quick. So, yeah, they're going to have 3 games in hand because the Stars and Mammoth are playing. And they also have that many points ahead. So, I just don't know what else you can do. Again, you can say the Nashville Predators are playing better of late, trying to fight themselves back in, but I think it's a fool's errand to play the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. As long as they, and I agree with you, I don't think they even fall to a 2 or 3 seed. You just wanted to make sure they didn't play Dallas or Minnesota in the first round. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and one last thing before we go. Should not even the wild card the wild card in the West of the East, nothing is certain, but I mean, at least with the East, currently there's only one team there with a losing record, that being the New York Rangers. So
right.
The fact that the wild card race there is still so tight makes sense. The West, I mean, good Lord, the Calgary Flames were dead in the water. They were what? They were 0-9-1 at one point. They're now within 8 points of the wild card.
Yeah, they were as close as 4. And now the LA Kings, who sit 19, 16, and 11, and I will laugh if Ken Holland doesn't make the playoffs, they're outside of it because the Mammoth and Sharks are in right now, and the Sharks just improved their standing today with beating on the Caps.
And despite the fact that Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar went out, the Blackhawks didn't just lay down and die.
No.
The Anaheim Ducks have completely fallen off the map.
Yep.
The Nashville Predators are 2 points out from being tied with the second wild card spot. Yep, like this NFL season, John, this NHL season makes no sense. Even in a sport where there is more parity than any other sport, this season makes absolutely no sense for the NHL.
One last thing for me and you, and then I'll close. Because the last time before the calendar turned, so it wasn't that long ago, I would say about 3.5 weeks, when I was on the call with Cooper, and we covered a game with the Seattle Kraken, or at least talked about them. Seattle Kraken was second to last in the NHL. Now they're the 3rd seed in the Pacific with 51 points. They've gotten points in, I think, 12 of 13 games. So things can change very quickly, to your point. I'm going to leave it at that. I have a Sharks game to cover on Saturday. I know you guys will be busy with the NFL, so I will probably catch up with everybody next week. And yes, I will release the schedule. Ian, thank you for joining me. It was fun to talk with you at least for a little bit.
So, absolutely served. And by the way, if you were to ask me who's going to make playoffs at this time, here's my answer. You'd have a better chance of seeing me hit a target from 1,000 yards out with a rifle than trying to predict this.
especially in the West right now.
Yeah, because there's no shot.
No, there isn't. I will talk to you soon, my friend. You take care.
Absolutely. Take care.
You guys take care. Buffalo Sabres win 5-3. This game was funny, and Genji joined me for a little bit of a post game, and I was going to talk to him. Again, who is more likely to make the playoffs, Montreal or Buffalo? We only had 2 votes. One said neither. I'd be surprised if that happens. One has got the Canadiens. Don't sleep on the Sabres. We'll see what happens in this matchup. We got 2 more meetings before the end of January. Peace.